merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah, oh merciful, merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah, oh merciful, merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah, oh merciful, merciful, faithful, my Adonai,
you promised not to be with me.
Merciful,
the people cry out to you, my Lord. Don't let us die in this wilderness. If there is something, trust me, Lord. It's your sweet love and your faithfulness.
merciful, merciful, faithful,
Dear Lord, I'll be on the great
merciful, faithful,
This is as all my fears and worries. But with the fire and cloud you guide, now weary eyes to a place of rest. All the praises to you, my Lord. Jehovah, you are still the best.
me no go drown, me no go drown, drown, drown. Me I go live and cross the great red sea.
I no go die,
I no go die, I no go die, die, die. He's alive and he's alive.
hear my cry.
Oh, merciful, merciful, faithful.
Oh Lord, now I behold the great red sea.
Merciful, merciful, faithful.
Dear Lord, you promised not to be with me.
Merciful, merciful,
The people cry out to you, my Lord. Don't let us die in this wilderness.
merciful,
If there is something, trust me, Lord. It's your sweet love and great
Me
faith.
no go drown,
me no go drown, me no go drown, drown, drown. Me I go live and cross the great
great red sea. I no go die,
I no go die, I no go die, die, die. He's alive and he will
hear my cry.
The enemies pursue me right, left, and center. Then I wish I and I to surrender. In my run to the Red Sea, but the enemies are enemy Lord. So I seek him strength. Me no go drown, no, not to the great Red Sea. Me no go drown, not even in troubled sea. Me no go drown, I care not how the tide will go. Cause the mighty Lord that dwell in me. Merciful, merciful, faithful. Oh Lord. Now I behold the great red sea. Merciful, faithful. This has all my fears and my worries. Me no go drown, me no go drown, drown, drown. The enemies pursue me.
Great red sea. I no go
No one is surrender, no one is
hear my cry. Me no go drown,
me no go drown, drown, drown.
Hello. Hello.
Ekaleo, hi.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Ekale.
Yes, sir. Daddy was he?
Eh?
tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni.
Àwọn tó ní problem náà lè ń wé yẹn àti gbóhùn wọn.
Mo kí gbogbo wa ní orúkọ Ọlọ́run Ísírẹ́lì. Jọ̀ọ́ àwa tí a bá ní ìbéèrè, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa fi ìbéèrè sínú ilé. Ìdí tí a ṣe ń ṣí yàrá yìí kalẹ̀ ni àwọn
Merciful, merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah. Oh, merciful, merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah. Oh, merciful, merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah. Oh, merciful, merciful, faithful, my Adonai.
You promised not to be with me.
Merciful,
The people cry out to you. right? If there is something you trust me, Lord, it's your
mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọ̀gá mi tó wà lórí ètò TMD mo kí yín o, mo dẹ̀ kí Evangelist Ezekiel Brother Noah mo kí yín, and then our very good friend ọ̀rẹ́ wa Mr. Olare. Mr. Olare ti kúrò ní online báyìí, and I greet the audience that are online. So this is Baby Code. Tí mi máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ program yẹn nísìnyí, so pending the time tí FSP máa fi padà join wa, wọ́n kàn fẹ́ sáré, wọ́n ní a little technical issue. So tonight, ẹ má gbàgbé, our topic is the preservation of the Bible and the Quran, and we are going to be having our friends, our Muslim friends. So he's coming to give us, I think he has some new research and some things tó fẹ́ fi hàn wá lórí àwọn nǹkan yẹn. So very very soon wọ́n máa try láti make a presentation and lórí ẹ̀ bí everything ṣe máa lọ. So ẹ̀yin ará lè má gbàgbé topic yẹn, the preservation of the Bible. Brother Ilerioluwa, good evening sir. So the preservation of the Bible and the Quran. So in a nutshell, nǹkan topic yẹn wà all about ni pé ṣé Bible ṣó wà preserved like ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, ṣé Quran náà ṣó wà preserved as ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, èwo la lè pè lọ́rọ̀ Ọlọ́run nínú méjèèjì, ṣé ẹ ti get báyẹn nísìnyí. So thank you sir, Bro Korede. Thank you, it's a very good topic, yes. So that's what we are going to be treating, and then another thing I understand kó tó di pé a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ fully ni pé I want everyone to know that program wa tá à ń ṣe kò ṣe pé à ń ṣe fún láti fi ba ìsìn kan jẹ́ fún ìkan, but we understand that the predominant religion that we have in Nigeria, the major, as in any other ìsìn, but the one of the most popular one náà ni Christian and Islam, ṣe ti get. So but our méjèèjì àjọ sọ pé àjọ believe nínú Ọlọ́run. So if what we consider to be a guidance, Brother Adesamo Kinye Kalesa, nǹkan tá consider pé guidance fún life wa as a Christian, tí a bá discover pé kò pé báwọn Islam ṣe máa ń sọ pé chain of narration ẹ mọ̀, or ká sọ pé bó ṣe wá bí Ọlọ́run ṣe lo àwọn èèyàn tó gbé fún wa, mọ̀ pé as a Christian àwa ò gbàgbọ́ pé ó jábọ́ látọ̀run, kò jábọ́, a dẹ̀ gbàgbọ́ pé angel kan ló wá ka ẹnìkan mọ́bì kan tó ń ẹ ti understand. So I believe pé it is God that inspired his people to put it down láti fi sílẹ̀. Ohun yín ti ń jáde. So àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ their histories, their word instructions, ẹ mọ̀, gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe máa ń sọ in theological terms pé we have the descriptive part of the Bible and we have the prescriptive part. Pé àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé they are prescribed, that are main things that we need to follow to do as a Christian. And there's some descriptive parts, so these are things that we look into it and learn about it. So for instance, in sin, Dáfídì gbàyàwó ọmọ ogun ẹ̀, kò kí ń ṣe nǹkan tí ó wà ní Bíbélì pé ká lọ máa ṣe, is a descriptive something that we learn from. Ṣé ti understand nísìn? So I'm just giving you instances bẹ́yẹn, àti pé àwọn tó kọ ṣé lóòótọ́ ni ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run mí sí wọn, and ìgbà tó ti kọ sílẹ̀ ṣó ṣì wà preserve náà títí di sin. And the same way in the Quran, lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí according to Islamic tradition tí Jibril tó minister sí Muhammad tó dẹ̀ release Quran, táwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ kọ sílẹ̀, àdọ́tọ̀ dẹ̀ àwọn sàábé gbogbo wọn tó kọ sí ibi tó máa kọ sí after his demise, and then Abubakar take care up from there, wọ́n collate together becoming a manuscript tó wà nínú ìwé. So from that time, because that was actually the first manuscript tó collate, from that time till this moment we are talking about, is Quran still preserved? So I am not the main person to discuss tonight, so èmi kàn ṣe introduction fún wa ni. So FSP, ṣé ó ti ṣe dáadáa bẹ́ẹ̀ network yẹn ti balance àbí?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
So mi mọ̀ bí ẹni àwọn one or two things tẹ́ fẹ́ sọ sí kébùrọ̀ láàrin tó fún wa ní discussion.
Mo ti rojọ́ lọ bí ilẹ̀ bí ẹni, àtòhùn mi ò jáde. Èmi kàn rojọ́ Brano àmọ́ wá ń gbóhùn wọn àti Mr. Lanre. Àwọn wọn tó wọn ní bí ìgbà tí èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ táwọn èèyàn gbóhùn èèyàn wá gbọ́ mi ní kẹ̀ àti wọn gbọ́ nǹkan kan mo dẹ̀ ń kó àṣé irọ́ ni mò ń pa Ọlọ́run ṣàánú mi.
ẹ jẹ́ bá gbé kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yẹn kúrò.
So láì dènà pẹ̀lú wa lálẹ́ yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí tọ́pìkì ẹ káàbọ̀ bá Akóredé, mo rí kọ́mẹ́ǹtì bá Akóredé, you are welcome, God bless you. À ń retí yín, ìjọ àwọn èèyàn ń wá yín nìyí, ìjọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí fún wa lọ́jọ́ bó ti polongo yín sí gbogbo ayé báyìí, so àti mú yín ìjọ tẹ́ bá ti ráyè, God bless you.
Bro Nicholas náà wà ń bí o.
Bro Nicholas ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Ó kí gbogbo lé o, ẹ kálẹ́ o.
À retí yín fúrì.
Àwọn náà ṣe parí presentation kan lórí citizen apologist fáwọn ará ilé tí wọ́n bá ti wò so lórí Tawhid, so ẹ lè lọ wò létà.
Ẹ lè fi comment link ẹ sí comment section so that àwọn èèyàn lè jẹ àǹfààní ẹ. God bless you. Nígbà tí mo ní nírọ̀lẹ́ bọ́ mi ìráyè join yín. God bless you. Now èyí tí à ń ṣe níyìn ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré sọ ilé ìtafẹ́ sọ yìí torí ó yẹ ká máa sọ ní gbọmọgbọmọ. Ètò yìí kò ń ṣe mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan gbogbo tí mo ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan kí n sáré tún sọ nítorí àkókò. A ṣètò nítorí ká lè búra wa. Nígbà tẹ́mi wà secondary school mo wà ní literary and debating group. Tá a bá ń debate kì í ṣe tó ń debate yẹn la máa attack point tó raise la máa attack nígbà yẹn ní school mo tún sọ o. Ṣùgbọ́n láàárín orí ẹ burú tó sọ colleague mi tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó dà pé kò gbọ́n ó dà pé ó gọ̀ ẹni yẹn ò ní score any point. Point tẹ́ni yẹn raise àmì àyẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa kọ́ wa níyẹn bíi pé kí àgbọ̀dọ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa kọ́ wa pé ká nílò láti búra wa. It can be emotional, it can be heated, it can be tough, but kì í ṣe ká máa sọ pé ẹni tó ẹnìkejì ní ó dà pé ó stupid ẹnìkejì mi dà pé ó gọ̀. Àfẹ́ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àlùfàǹṣá yẹn wọ́n ti ní ká máa tẹnu mọ́. Ẹni tá a bá ti tó ti sọ bí Christian ló sọ ni kó má fi ṣèbínú, a máa pè wọ́n sákèésí. Tó bá jẹ́ mùsùlùmí náà ló sọ ni a pè wọ́n sákèésí. Bí yìí kì í ṣe ibi tá a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ àlùfàǹṣá, a fẹ́ òdodo. Sọ òdodo nǹkan tó bá lè ràn aṣọ kó jẹ́ ní tí ó ní ẹ̀rí kì í ṣe pákànlélẹ́ ànábì sopa ẹ̀rí ẹ̀dá òkànlélẹ́ máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ Jésù ó jalè ẹ̀rí Jésù jalè dà àkànlélẹ́ bí ká máa sọ kákan máa make claim fáàtì òkodoro níbí fún Muslim àti Christian ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ mi ìtajẹ́sì ẹnì kankan tó bá jẹ́ mi náà ni mo ń ṣe ẹ̀sìn mi bá ṣe ti pé ń tẹ́ sọ láàrin ẹ̀mẹ́rin ẹ̀ jáde tí ìgbà tí wàá mẹ́rin ẹ̀bùn jáde ẹ mú mi ẹ ní kí n tọrọ àforíjì bó ṣe rí ẹ kó rí nìyẹn. Ọlọ́run yóò ràn wá lọ́wọ́ fún ọ̀pá alẹ́ tó ń gbọ́ wa wọ́n fẹ́ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni kì í ṣe láti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ara wa ká máa búra wa ká máa sọ̀rọ̀ ká máa pariwo mọ́ra wọn rárá. Tá a bá ti dépò ní pípariwo mọ́ra wa ni màá mú tu àwọn èèyàn méjèèjì a sì tẹ̀síwájú ní lórí ètò a ò ṣètò ká lè pariwo mọ́ra wa. Bring your point, defend your point, the other person bring your point, defend your point. Arákùnrin Ọláńre mùsùlùmí ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣetán láti wá sọ fún wa ẹjọ́ bí Kùránì ṣe wà preserved. Arákùnrin Yahweh save àwọn náà wà ní inú Kulumbi, àwọn náà dùn fún Christian láti ṣàlàyé bí Bible ṣe wà preserved, èwo ló wà preserved ní méjèèjì, èwo dẹ̀ ní pé ó wà preserved. Preservation of the Bible and the Quran topic ìtàfẹ́ sọ the preservation of the Bible and the Quran. Arákùnrin Láńre wọ́n máa sọ fún wa bí a ṣe preserve Quran àti manuscript ẹ̀. Arákùnrin Yahweh says àwọn máa sọ fún wa bí a ṣe preserve Bible àti manuscript ẹ̀. Ewu gangan ló tó gbójúlé, ewu gangan la lè pè ní ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, ewu gangan ni ó wà preserve, ewu gangan la lè rí ẹ̀rí fún àwọn preservation wọ̀nyí. Ó dàbí nǹkan tí wọ́n máa fi yànnàná fún wa nìyẹn. So mi mọ àkókò tí wọ́n jọ agree sí bá arákùnrin Láńre kí àwọn aráalé kí Yahweh says náà kí àwọn aráalé ká lè tẹ̀síwájú torí mi ti gbóhùn arákùnrin Láńre rárá ẹ kí àwọn aráalé fà.
أعوذ بالله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Mo dúpẹ́ fún opportunity láti lè fi establish nǹkan èyí tí a regard as òdodo and oúnjẹ pé bóyá just òdodo and the best òdodo tí ọmọ èèyàn lè nígbàgbọ́ sí tó já sí pé kò sí àmúlùmálà ńbẹ̀ kò sì sí màdàrú ńbẹ̀ àyàfi ẹni tí ò bá kàn fẹ́ submit rẹ̀ fún mímọ́ nìkan ló kù torí pé Ànábì sallallahu alaihi wasallam Ànábì jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ta'allam al-ilma min al-mahdi ila al-lahd mùsùlùmí máa ń wá mímọ́ ni a máa wá bẹ́ẹ̀ Ànábì mandate tẹ̀lé wa lórí fọ́lọ́run mandate tẹ̀ pé ká wá láti gbà tá a ti wà ní gírádù títí dìgbà tá a fi máa wọnú sàárè a máa wá mímọ́ lọ́nà ni so ìmọ̀ ló wà ní ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn Islam torí ẹ̀rọ yìí máa ń pariwo pé ìmọ̀ ló làjí ní ọgbọ́n ògbé tó já sí pé òun náà lè fi rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn tó já sí pé wọ́n struggle nípa pé kí wọ́n lọ kọ́ èdè Lárúbáwá kí wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ti fò tẹ̀dú ẹ̀ lórí gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó so èdè papọ̀ bí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà nù ní gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó so Yorùbá papọ̀ kíyàn tó lè mọ̀ àmọ́ èdè Lárúbáwá òun tó wá kẹnu jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ nípa wípé ó ní àwọn ọmọ ọdún art ó ní àwọn subjects èyí tí ọmọ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ súnmọ́ dáadáa kó tó di wípé wọ́n gé ní nǹkan tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí mọ̀ Lárúbáwá tó sọ̀kalẹ̀ sí wọn lára àkọ́kọ́ ń bẹ̀ èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ lọ nímọ̀ nípa lugatul arabiyya èdè Lárúbáwá wa kayfiyatu istimaliha àti báwo ni wọ́n ti ṣe ń lo èdè Lárúbáwá yìí bákan náà ní àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n máa lò gẹ́gẹ́ bí instrument àwọn alert tí èèyàn fi get àwọn tí èèyàn fi attain irú àwọn nǹkan báyìí òun náà ni pé èèyàn ó ní ìmọ̀ balaga that is Arabic rhetoric èèyàn ó sì ní ìmọ̀ nahwu èèyàn ó ní ìmọ̀ sọ́ọ̀fù èèyàn ó
a mà ní káwọn ará lé mà ní.
wọ́n lọ síwájú èèyàn lè nímọ̀ nípa lúgọ̀ náà tó bá tún lọ síwájú náà èèyàn lè nímọ̀ nípa falsafa náà àtàwọn nǹkan tó papọ̀ tó jọ mọ́. Introduction orúkọ mi ni Ọlánre so gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀kọ́ èyí tá a kọ́ ní ojú ọ̀nà pé à ń wá mímọ̀ a fẹ́ try láti gather education.
arákùnrin Láre àgbọ́yìn mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n a ní kí àwọn ará lé so ẹ dà pé ẹ ti pín ọbẹ̀ yẹn ẹ ṣeun so how many minutes ni arákùnrin Yahweh ṣe sọ́dà pa àwọn ẹ̀yìn náà ti kí àwọn ará lé.
Good evening everyone. I'm Yahweh Save, and I will be talking about the preservation of Quran and Bible manuscript. That was the topic we want to discuss on. We are not talking about the authorship. We are not talking about contradiction. Oh. That's not the basis of our discussion was that we are going to have somebody
moderator.
Mr. Láre,
mo believe I am moderator.
Yes. Àgbóhùn ohun yín ti lọ tó dájú bí ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀. So ẹni sùúrù kẹ́ni yẹn parí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Ohun yín lọ nígbà tẹ́ni sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan àgbọ̀ àìṣẹ́ ń pẹ́ padà ní. So ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n parí ọ̀rọ̀ wọn àti fẹ́ lómi láàyè láti sọ̀rọ̀ tó yẹ yín. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn.
So somebody posted a video of Bat Aman talking about our manuscript, that Christian does not have original manuscript. They have copies. They don't have. So we did a discussion in the group, and when Olari came about, he was like, I am lying about what I said because I was trying to prove the reason why we don't have the original manuscript. So I turned the table upon them and I said, provide your original manuscript of your Quran. Let me see. From the time of Muhammad or Uthman, provide it. So that is the reason why we are here, just shortly, because we want to go into the discussion right now. So we actually going to discuss about the manuscript, and it's going to provide us evidence of his own manuscript traceable to Uthman and what is it called, or Muhammad, because that was why we came online. He doesn't want to do debate on WhatsApp, and he was shouting that I have to do audio discussion with him. And I said he should come on the live stream if he wants to, so that he can show me, because I'm an evidence-based person. I love evidence, not just verbal communication that somebody will say something and at the end of the day you won't see evidence for it. I can claim a thing on my voice, and how do I trace it? How do I know it is true? So if I show you evidence to it and I say what the scholar say, you'll be able to know that I'm not lying. So I expect him tonight to be able to prove beyond that I am lying about my manuscript. Number two, you should be able to prove to me that his Quran manuscript is available down to Uthman and also Muhammad. Thank you very much.
Yeah, ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, arákùnrin Láre, ìṣẹ́jú fún 30 seconds fẹ́ parí ọ̀rọ̀ yín torí ìkíni la ní kẹ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe. Ẹ̀yà torí àgbọ́yímọ́lẹ̀ kan yẹn àdẹ̀lẹ̀jẹ̀ káfẹ́fẹ́ wà ní òfìfo la ṣe jẹ́kẹ́lẹ́ mi.
Okay. Mo ti padà mo ti dárúkọ mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan mi mọ̀ bóyá ẹ̀ tún gbọ́ náà. So tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ mi báyìí ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi báyìí?
Gbọ́ yín báyìí, a ti gbórúkọ yín.
Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi?
Fún wa lẹ́
orúkọ mi ni Ọlánre. Bí arákùnrin TMD bó ṣe ṣàlàyé yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ọ̀rọ̀ ṣe rí. Alhamdulillah, a ti bọ́ sí orí ètò báyìí ká discuss nípa Quran manuscript àti biblical manuscript. ká discuss nípa authenticity wọn àti availability wọn ní èní ìta bẹ́ẹ̀ yìí. So mi wá mọ̀ bí grand ẹ ṣe máa open pé báwo la ṣe máa continue ẹ̀yin moderator. So introduction tí mo ní láti ṣe náà nìyẹn.
Mr. Lanre, Mr. Olanre, Mr. Olanre, ojú screen dáadáa ọkọ tó wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn náà ni oníkálukú fẹ́ kàn máa pe òun láti fi orúkọ wá sí orúkọ tó wà ń bẹ̀ náà ni kẹ́ fi represent ẹni tẹ́ bá ń address tó bá jẹ́ mi ni ẹrú orúkọ mi ń bẹ̀ ẹrúkọ ẹnìkejì orúkọ tó oníkálukú kọ kò ní dá kí n máa pè yín ní Mr. Bínúyọ́ nígbà tó jẹ́ pé Ọláńre lórúkọ yín ẹ jẹ́ ká take note bẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run yóò ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Now ṣé ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún lẹ fẹ́ lò ní àbí ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún
ẹ kí n jẹ́ ti mi ò jẹ́ ti yín o.
Orúkọ ẹ rí i pé lábẹ́ ẹ bá wo ojú screen ṣe ń rí screen.
Ok, ṣé nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ ni pé orúkọ tó wà lábẹ́ screen ẹni pé ká máa pè.
Fún oníkálukú orúkọ tó fẹ́ tẹ́ni ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ nìyẹn orúkọ tiẹ̀ ní orúkọ ẹ rí i pé mi ní pààtì kòròrò tí yín Ọláńre lójú kò yá orúkọ yẹn náà ní ká fi àdírẹ́sì oníkálukú.
Kò sí problem mo ti understand bẹ́ẹ̀.
15 minutes ni a fẹ́ lò ní àbí 10 minutes àbí 15 minutes.
I'm trying to recommend that we use 20 minutes each. Then we can now cross-examine each other.
First,
Emi will quick 20 minutes because the topic we want to discuss over robust. So with you 20 minutes, then we can now have back and forth on that.
Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n bá sọ fún ara lé ẹ̀yin ara lé ẹ bá ní question fún wa ẹ kọ sílẹ̀ question for solution ṣe bá a fi sí comment ṣe wọ́n ẹ má ti kọ́ ní ìsìn tó bá ti ń súnmọ́ time wá bá fi 15 minutes ṣe bí formal ẹ ṣe ní formal debate tàbí ká ṣe ní àbí ṣe the butter will follow after yes, right?
Yes.
10 minutes, right?
I don't know if he agrees.
Èmi suggest 5 minutes tá bá máa ṣe bóyá bí ẹ̀mẹ́ta ẹ̀mẹ́rin bẹ́ẹ̀.
Well, because I have a presentation because we are talking about a big topic here tonight.
So, kí ni conclusion? Ṣé ká ṣe 20 minutes?
Okay, mo fún Yahweh says mo fún ní 20 minutes kóun fi give presentation tiẹ̀.
So ẹ̀yin wá fẹ́ lo 5 minutes àbí?
So ká máa ṣe 5 minutes lọ lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn.
Okay. Yahweh says a baby code Ọláńre baby code gbogbo alájẹ wà níbí. Fún àwọn ará ilé ẹjẹ́ ká tẹ́tí bẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ láti gbọ́. So the floor is yours. But me ní time and bí o. Báwo ni ẹ ṣe ṣe baby code wà lórí system? Baby code, are you on your system?
Yes, more already system. Okay, so accept the screen. Share any share screen for presentation.
We must share, or it will also on the hidden about to share screen.
Okay. Okay. Share. So, first presentation is how many minutes?
He said 5 minutes.
Okay, who is going first? 5 minutes, by Abby. All right. Cheers, Ribai. Bye, Inko.
What you do?
Checking kickstart by.
The floor is yours, Mr. Olanre.
No, mo sọ pé kí ẹni ẹ lo 20 minutes ẹ ní o. Ṣé gbọ́ báyìí? Hello, ṣé èèyàn kankan gbọ́ mi báyìí?
Yeah. Ta ló máa kọ́kọ́ go on first?
Ẹni ẹ náà ní presentation, èmi ní kó lo 20 minutes ẹ. Yahweh says, ó náà ní presentation, mo ní kó lo 20 minutes ẹ, máa lo 5 minutes ọ̀dọ̀ mi, àdẹ̀ máa ṣe lọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
All right, so Yahweh says maybe you will go first. So, Abi?
No problem.
Bóyá kí n lo 5 minutes ọ̀dọ̀ mi tí ó bá fẹ́ kí n go first bóyá kí n go first kí n lo 5 minutes ọ̀dọ̀ tèmi.
All right, you can go first then. Kí n dá padà sí 5 minutes. So ẹ lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí. Mr. Lanre
àwọn
bẹ̀rẹ̀.
tábà mú tara wa lẹ́yìn
Alright.
time.
All right, Mr. Lanre, iṣẹ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Alright. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد. Ọ̀rọ̀ topic tí ó wà before wa ní alẹ́ yìí náà ni the manuscript of Quran and the Bible, its authenticity, reliability and availability. So nǹkan tá a lè fẹ́ sọ nípa àwọn manuscript méjèèjì yẹn. Àkọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Al-Quran ní kọ́kọ́ mẹ́nu bà yẹn. Al-Quran Ọlọ́run ọba adékọ́lá ń sọ nínú Suratul Hijr Quran chapter 15 verse 9 Ọlọ́run ní inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna alayhi lahafizun. Àwọn Ọlọ́run ọba àwa náà la sọ Al-Quran kalẹ̀ àwa náà la sì máa ṣọ́. So mímáa ṣọ́ Al-Quran yìí ó wá jẹ́ kí àmọ̀dájú wà pé ààbò ti wà láti protection ti wà lórí Al-Quran, right, láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tí ó jẹ́ author Al-Quran fúnra rẹ̀ ìyẹn Ànábì wa ìyẹn Ọlọ́run ọba Allah èyí tọ́lọ́run gbélé Ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lọ́wọ́. Náà tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá wá rí báyìí báwo ni Al-Quran ṣe sọ̀kalẹ̀? Al-Quran sọ̀kalẹ̀ revelation of Al-Quran ó based on ayatan aw ayatain suratan aw suratayn. Bóyá kó jẹ́ bóyá bí verse kan àbí 2 verse at a time àbí more than that àbí kó jẹ́ bóyá bí chapter and or chapters at a time nígbà míì. So nígbà tí ọ̀rọ̀ wá rí báyìí àwa rí nígbà ayé Ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam nígbà náà bí ṣe lò gbésí ayé tí revelation yẹn bá sọ̀kalẹ̀ a máa rí àwọn tó já sí pé àwọn kùtàbù ẹ̀ àwọn náà ní scribe ẹ̀ Ànábì máa pè wọ́n. Èyí tó gbajúmọ̀ tó wà mashhur nínú wọn òun náà ni Sa'id bin Sabit. Ó máa pè Sa'id bin Sabit ó máa ní kó kọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n sì kọ́lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ akẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n jọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Nínú àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ àwọn kùtàbù ẹ̀ tánàbí sallallahu alaihi wasallam nígbà tánàbí lọ tán tí ìkànnù Ibn Abbas tí ó ń sọ òròyìn pé àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń jà máa Al-Quran yà ní àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń kó Al-Quran jọ nígbà ayé Ànábì dárúkọ wọn tó dẹ̀ dárúkọ Sa'id bin Sabit tó dárúkọ wọn sínú ẹ̀. So Al-Quran lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n wá jà máa Al-Quran náà gbà náà bóyá ń kọ́ Al-Quran rèé wọ́n á gbé sórí nínú ọpọlọ wọn ìyẹn memorization. Wọ́n dẹ̀ tún máa kọ́lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú order Ànábì sallallahu alaihi wasallam pé kí wọ́n keep ẹ̀ for future reasoning àbí nǹkan reason mi tó bá máa wá. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn bọ́n sàhábà ṣe gbé sórí àwa rí ìkà wá lọ́wọ́ ẹgbà wá lóríṣiríṣi pé àwọn tí wọ́n há Al-Quran sórí wọ́n pọ̀ lọ jàrá ni. Yá sí pé almost gbogbo àwọn sàhábà ni wọ́n há Al-Quran sórí tí bá ní kí n máa ka orúkọ wọn nítorí time. So lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí Ànábì lọ tán sallallahu alaihi wasallam Sayyid Abubakar radiyallahu anhu pẹ̀lú Umar wọ́n pe arákùnrin Sa'id bin Sabit wọ́n nítorí pé òun náà ló jẹ́ ẹni tó máa ń kọ kíní lẹ̀ fún Ànábì sallallahu alaihi wasallam nígbà ayé òun náà tún wá kọ Al-Quran jọ kó jọ sójú kan. Wọ́n kó jọ sínú mushaf ní tá à ń pè ní mushaf náà ní ìwé. Wọ́n kó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo wọn process yẹn tó já sí pé a lè máa yànnà náà àfi tọ́rọ̀ bá wá sórí ẹ̀. So after that lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí ìyẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mushaf ẹnìkan náà ló ń lò bẹ́ẹ̀ tó tó dáyé Sayyidina Usman radiyallahu anhu. Sayyidina Usman náà tún wá pa Sa'id bin Sabit láṣẹ pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn tó yàn tí wípé kí wọ́n tún Al-Quran tó kọ nígbà ayé Abubakar yẹn kí wọ́n tún kọ kọ́ wá pín kọ́ sọ́nà tó pọ̀ kọ́ sì pín káàkiri bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. So bọ́ ṣe kọ Al-Quran nìyẹn tí ẹ̀rí sì wà dájú pé Sa'id bin Sabit ó ní ẹ̀rí wípé Al-Quran tó ń kọ́ gbà náà òun kọ́ pé tó dẹ̀ complete. Adé rí nínú Sahih Bukhari nínú kitabu Fadailul Quran man qala lam yutriku an-nabiy sallallahu alaihi wasallam illa ma bayna dafata.
Àgbọ̀ yín mọ́ arákùnrin Lanre. Ẹ lè pause time o. Àgbọ̀ yín mọ́ ó dà pé nẹ́tíwọ̀kì yín. Arákùnrin Lanre. Àgbọ̀ yín mọ́ ọ́díò yín ò jáde.
Hello.
Bá wọn dá time ọ̀pá díẹ̀. Yín mọ́.
Hello.
A fi ń gbọ́ yín padà báyìí.
Ok. Ẹ má bínú time tí ó fi kọ́ tiẹ̀ ṣe máa fún mi sí àbí kí n máa bá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Yín sì wọ́n á fún yín sí.
Okay. So ibi tí mo bá dé náà ni pé a dẹ̀ tún rí ẹ̀rí nínú hadith nígbà pé arákùnrin kan Sahih Bukhari 5019 Abdulaziz bin Rafin ó sọ wípé àwọn wọlé tọ̀ òun àti Mu'aqal àwọn wọlé tọ̀ Ibn Abbas lọ àwọn wá béèrè lọ́wọ́ Ibn Abbas. Oh, networking. Now, àwọn wá shit. Hello. So àwọn wá béèrè lọ́wọ́ Abbas lórí pé kí l'Ànábì filẹ̀ kí Ànábì tó lọ. Ibn Abbas wá sọ fún wọn pé hello. Kí lẹ sọ?
Ọ̀yin à ń gbọ́ yín.
Okay, mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ mi lọ. Ànábì Ibn Abbas wá sọ pé Ànábì sọ ó ní wọ́n
Nẹ́tíwọ̀kì arákùnrin Ọlánre ò ṣe dáadáa tó.
Mo pause látẹ̀kọ́ ni o.
A rí pé àgbóhùn wọn mọ́.
Even gan báyìí wọ́n ti lè mo torí mo pause látẹ̀kọ́ ni mi ò rí the time yẹn bó bọ́ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀.
Bíbélì nípa ti Bíbélì kò sí discussion tó pọ̀ níbẹ̀ àfi tó bá já sí pé àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ bá tún já wá nípa pé kí ni kò sí manuscript kan èyí tó fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ nípa Bíbélì wọ́n ní Matthew kọ.
Arákùnrin Ọlánre ẹ̀ ó dàn. Àwọn voice yín ń dákẹ́ ó ń wá ó ń dákẹ́ so kó má dàbí pé bí àmútù yín o torí táwọn èèyàn bá máa gbọ́ fídíò lẹ́yìn ọ̀rẹ́ yìí wọ́n á lè gbọ́ pé ìgbà kan wà tẹ́lẹ̀ voice yín ń dákẹ́ so la ṣe ń pàkíyèsí yín sí pé ẹ wá network yín ẹ yí síbi tí network bá ti máa dáa so that a ní máa miss the voice yín few seconds a gbọ́ yín again so that àwọn èèyàn lè gbọ́ nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ sọ. So
ṣé ń gbọ́ mi báyìí?
À ń gbọ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ketekete ó yá bíi 1 minute àbí kí ló kù.
Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi báyìí?
À ń gbọ́ yín. À ń gbọ́ yín ẹ tẹ̀síwájú.
Mo ti clear àwọn nǹkan tí mo lérò pé mo lè clear nípa Al-Qur'an for now. Kí n mẹ́nu bà ọ̀rọ̀ Bíbélì. Ọ̀rọ̀ Bíbélì mo believe pé kò sí argument tó pọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ nípa wípé kí ni nípa wípé gbogbo àwọn òwe tó wà nínú Bíbélì yányán ká mú látòrí New Testament àbí Old Testament ni gbogbo ẹ̀ òun ni àmúlùmálà wà ń bẹ̀ tí ó dẹ̀ sí ìta lè trace lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹnìkan. So kí ni ìyàtọ̀ tá máa fi ń dá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ manuscript Quran náà manuscript Al-Qur'an èyí tó wà nílẹ̀ báyìí nísìn a lè sọ pé nìkan ló kọ a máa rí evidence pé ẹni báyìí ó sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà ayé ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ náà wọn tí wọ́n ń kọ́lẹ̀ nígbà ayé ẹ̀ bọ́ kò sí irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú Bíbélì pé ẹni báyìí sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn nǹkan báyìí ni wọ́n wá rí nígbà tó ń kọ́lẹ̀ kò sẹ́rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú Bíbélì. Ká mú Matthew fún àpẹẹrẹ Matthew àríyànjiyàn wà lórí ẹ̀ wípé àwọn Matthew book of Matthew wípé Aramaic ló kọ ìwé yìí nígbà tó dẹ̀ máa
wọ́n ti lò kọjá normal time báyìí o extra time ní gbogbo ilé báyìí.
Arákùnrin Ọlánre ohun yín yìí kí ló dé ta ohun yín lọ à ń gbọ́ yín bọ̀ tó bá yá àkànní gbọ́ yín mọ́ táìmù.
Hello.
ẹ jẹ́ fún 20 seconds kan fi parí kan fi summarize ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ lo táìmù yín tó kù yìí.
Ok nínú ṣé tí ń gbọ́ mi báyìí.
À ń gbọ́ yín.
Ṣé tí ń gbọ́ mi báyìí.
À ń gbọ́ yín ketekete.
Ok ibi tí mo end ẹ̀ sí òun náà ni wípé nípa ọ̀rọ̀ Bíbélì kò sí ẹ̀rí kan tó fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ wípé ó gbọ́ wọn tí wọ́n sọ pé wọ́n kọ̀wé nínú Bíbélì wípé bóyá àwọn èèyàn kan rí wọn bóyá witness kan wà wípé ẹni yóò Matthew mo rí nígbà tó ń kọ̀wé o ń tẹ́ni máa present ní ẹ̀ka tó lọ máa wo náà manuscript èyí tí wọ́n attribute sí ara àwọn individuals kọ̀ọ̀kan kọ́ fún wa ní ẹ̀rí ẹni tó rí Matthew níbi tó ti ń kọ̀wé pé Matthew ló kọ̀wé àti John àtàwọn tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Assalamu alaikum.
ṣeun fún presentation yín. Yeah, Yahweh says.
Yeah,
About
time up.
Yeah, okay. About time 20 minutes. The floor is yours.
Okay.
20 seconds. Okay, TMD, Abi.
No, Yahweh say.
Yahweh say, Abi.
Yes.
All right.
Tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ kẹ́sàn.
Ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí.
Okay, glory to God. I appreciate God for this moment. Today we are going to talk about the Bible and the Quran manuscript. Which one is well preserved? It is unfortunate that I have not seen any evidence from Mr. Larry since he was just talking, and that was the reason why we said we should come to stream here so that he can provide evidences to us. However, I'm going to quickly start with the Bible first, then I will move to the Quran. When we are dealing with the Bible manuscript, we should not place it beside Quran or compare both of them, because Quran is too young to be compared to the Bible in terms of the volume of content, manuscript age, and survivor of the manuscript. Quran in its entirety though is not up to the entire book of Psalm. The book of Psalm has 150 chapters and with over 31,000 verses. So Quran is very, very small to be compared with the Bible in terms of volume and the volume of manuscript that we are expected. So let's talk about the early manuscript evidence. When we are dealing with the Bible manuscript, let's quickly talk about manuscripts construction. But before we talk about that, oftentimes Muslims always bring whenever they are discussing with Christians, they always bring
code mix. Code mix. Code mix.
Code mix.
Yeah,
okay.
Yoruba and English.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Taban sọ̀rọ̀ nípa, I will have to switch between the two. Thank you. So, Taban sọ̀rọ̀ nípa tí Mùsùlùmí bá ń dì pẹ̀lú Christian tàbí Christian níwọ̀pọ̀ ọgbà wọ́n máa ń mú Bible translation wá bá wọn, wọ́n máa fi compare ara láti máa fi sọ wípé bóyá Bible wà preserve bóyá kò preserve. Ó yà mí lẹ́nu pé Mùsùlùmí ò ní understanding nǹkan tó ń pè ní manuscript, wọn àdẹ̀mọ̀ túmọ̀ nǹkan tó ń pè ní translation. Meanwhile, nínú Quran wọn ní àwọn thousands of translation today. And if you even compare both translation together, there are a lot of mess in their translation. Taba wa ní ká lọ sínú manuscript wọn kọ mess náà tún ni. But however, taba ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Bible manuscript, ìdí tá a fi sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbẹ́ni tọ́rọ̀ fi wá ní pé Bat Aman làwọn èèyàn ń share fídíò ẹ̀ káàkiri nínú àwọn group tó sọ wípé Christian ò ní manuscript, original manuscript. They only have copies of copies. Ó dẹ̀ yà mí lẹ́nu pé Mùsùlùmí gan fúnra lára wọn gbogbo nǹkan tí Bat Aman sọ kò yé wọn, lójú wọn bí ẹni pé Bat Aman mọ́ọ̀kì Christian, wọn mọ̀ pé òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ló ń sọ. Ṣùgbọ́n even àwọn nǹkan míì tí Bat Aman sọ tó jẹ́ pé ó get wrong, àìmọye àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n ti refute Bat Aman. Ibo ni Bat Aman wọn lónìí? Èèyàn mélòó ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́? Èèyàn mélòó ló jáde sí láti ṣe debate pẹ̀lú mọ́? Ó dà pé Bat Aman ti lọ. Now, kí ni ìdí tá à fi ní original manuscript? Mo ti sọ lórí program rí nígbà kan tí wọ́n invite mi. Ó ní wípé àwọn material tí wọ́n fi kọ àwọn manuscript wa, wọ́n pè kan ní papyrus. Àwọn material tó fi kọ koríko náà fi ṣe wọ́n, and ó máa ń tètè dìbàjẹ́ because of temperature or because of weather or because bí àwọn èèyàn ṣe handle ẹ̀, bóyá omi moisture dálé lórí. And papyrus yìí ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó wà expensive, and kì í ṣe pé gbogbo èèyàn náà ló máa ń dédé get ẹ̀, or bóyá pé kìíní dé ink náà tó máa fi ń kọ nǹkan sí orí àwọn material yìí, ó ṣeé ṣe òun náà wọ́n, bó ṣe lè pé wọ́n, òun náà tètè máa ń bó down lórí àwọn material yìí. So tó bá ti tó stage kan, àwọn material yẹn máa ń disintegrate, tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé tí wọ́n bá ti notice, àwọn tán pè ní scribe wọ́n á tètè copy manuscript yẹn jáde. So òun la fi Bat Aman fi sọ wípé we don't have the original. Ìdí tí a dẹ̀ fi ní òun ni wípé àwọn material yẹn máa ń disintegrate over time. You mean 40 years, 50 years. After that, in fact less than that gan ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbẹ, torí koríko náà fi ṣe. Egypt náà dẹ̀ ti máa ń ṣe sábà ṣe jù, so ó máa ń gbẹ, ó máa ń rún dànù, tó yẹ pé kò ní àlòpẹ́. Now ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré wo nǹkan táwọn èèyàn sọ nípa àwọn material tá à ń sọ yìí. Ẹnìkan wọ́n pè ní Medgard and Aman, Bat Aman fúnra lára rẹ̀ àti ọ̀gá rẹ̀. Ó sọ pé an important issue with the manuscript is reservation. The earliest New Testament manuscripts were written on papyrus made from a reed that grew abundantly in the Nile Delta. This tradition continued as late as 8th century. That is Bat Aman àti ọ̀gá rẹ̀. Another one sọ wá ti sọ wípé papyrus eventually become brittle and deteriorated with age. The dry climate of Egypt allows some papyrus manuscripts to be partially preserved, but with the exception of P72, no New Testament papyrus manuscript is complete. Many consist only of a single fragment page. Another person sọ wípé Batama àti ọ̀gá rẹ̀ tán pè ní Metga ó sọ wípé beginning in the 4th century, parchment, also called vellum, began to be a common medium for New Testament manuscript. Nǹkan tá ń sọ ni wípé nígbà tí àkókò wa ń lọ díẹ̀ tá ti ń di bí 4th century àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń stabilize nǹkan tí wọ́n ń kọ àwọn ìwé yẹn, àwọn Bible lórí. Ayé àtijọ́ àwọn nǹkan tó ń kọ àwọn nǹkan yẹn lórí kì í lọ ní àlòpẹ́ títí, ó máa ń tètè díbàjẹ́. Torí bẹ́ẹ̀ la ṣe ní copies of copies, ìdí nǹkan tí mo ń sọ náà nìyẹn. Ẹnìkan náà sọ pé it wasn't until the 12th century that the paper made from cotton or plant fiber began to gain popularity in biblical manuscript. So àti rí báyìí wípé nǹkan tí Bible sọ, nǹkan tí àwọn scholars sọ ni pé wọ́n understand ìdí tí a fi ní original copy. So tí Batama bá sọ pé we don't have original copy, we have copies of copies. Òun ni wípé torí pé àwọn nǹkan yẹn kò lálòpẹ́, wọ́n máa ń díbàjẹ́ over time. So nǹkan tí ìdí àkọ́kọ́ nìyẹn, èyí tí mo mọ̀ pé ó yẹ kí Ọlánre wájú kó tètè get yẹn. Ara nǹkan tó wájú ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ní kémi máa parọ́ mọ́ nínú group tá a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀. Now let's quickly talk about earliest extant manuscript tiwa. Now according to Batman, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí Batman sọ. The earliest manuscript of the New Testament text is a business card size fragment from the Gospel of John, Ryland Library Papyrus P52, which may be as earlier as the first half of 2nd century. The first complete copies of single New Testament book appear around 200, and the earliest complete copy of the New Testament, the Codex Sinaiticus, date to the 4th century. Batama ló sọ yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún wá sáré wo nǹkan kan, màá sáré ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀ briefly nítorí àkókò mi. Àwọn tébù tí mo fẹ́ fi hàn yìí ó máa fi yé wa ìdí tí bí wọ́n ṣe àwọn copies extant manuscript wa, èyí tó jẹ́ pé earliest tó jẹ́ pé ó wà earliest tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n díbàjẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n survive it yẹn, bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti fẹ́ díbàjẹ́ tó ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n survive. A máa sáré wò wọ́n ní kọ̀ọ̀kan. Àkọ́kọ́, the book of Matthew, we have P1, P37, P45, P yẹn mi papyrus, P53, P64, P6, and so on. And that date one between 150 to 300. That's 2nd to 3rd century, and it has a largest fragment. Mark náà ní P45 and P135, 137. Ẹ lè pause video anytime tá a bá fẹ́ tún wò later kẹ́ ẹ wo nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ. 2nd to 3rd century. Luke náà, the earliest manuscript to survive ni wọ́n lè date sí 175 to 250. Even though tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn dating yìí, they are not that accurate. They may be earlier than this, than the carbon dating that they did on it. However, we are still okay with it. What about the book of John, 125 to 120 AD? That is still earlier. It is still earlier. Even Acts was the earliest of it, was 3rd century. Romans was 175 to 200, which is still earliest. First Corinthians was still 175 to 220. It's still earlier. And we have fragment of it. We have few fragments, we have large fragment of them. Also, the book of 2nd Corinthians, we have P46, we have fragment of it, even dated to 175 AD. Then we have Galatians P46, the same thing. Ephesians, the same thing. Philippians, the same thing. Colossians, the same thing. 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, títí the book of 1 John and 3 John. Then even títí dórí Revelation. Ẹ jẹ́ torí àkókò mi, ẹ jẹ́ sáré fi bí àwọn manuscript yẹn tán survive àwọn condition and weather society, environment tí wọ́n ti lò wọ́n. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo bọ́n ṣe rí, ká wá wò bóyá pé kò wà preserved tó. Àti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa èyí tó jẹ́ copies, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa nǹkan tí ó jẹ́ earliest tí a lè date back sí 4th century. Báwo ló ṣe rí? The book of Matthew, àwọn earliest manuscript bọ́n ṣe rí, ẹni bó ṣe rí jálajàla, tí n bá zoom ẹ̀ dáadáa ẹ máa rí wípé ó dàbí koríko material tó fi ṣe, àti ink ẹ̀dẹ̀ ni ó máa ń erase dànù. So nígbà tí wọ́n ti notice àwọn pé ó ti ń disintegrate, they copy it out. Eléyìí náà nínú the book of Mark lélẹ́yìí bó ṣe rí, bí sample ẹ̀ ṣe rí lélẹ́yìí, ó wà ní museum bí tí wọ́n archive gbogbo ẹ̀ sí. This is the book of John. Eléyìí tó ń sọ pé ó dàbí size of kí wọ́n ti porúkọ ẹ̀ ATM card, òun lélẹ́yìí tí ó wà lójú screen, wọ́n pè ní P55. So tá a bá wo gbogbo nǹkan tí a ti fi hàn yìí, ó fi yé wa wípé the New Testament was actually preserved up to a time that people started copying them out of it. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí Batman sọ. He said, it is true, of course, that the New Testament is abundantly attested in the manuscript produced through the ages, but most of these manuscripts are many centuries removed from the original, and none of them perfectly accurate. They all contain mistakes, altogether many thousands of mistakes it is not an easy task to reconstruct the original word of the New Testament, even though àwọn èèyàn ti rìbọ́ọ̀tì Bat-Eman lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo nǹkan tí ọ̀gá Bat-Eman sọ. In evaluating the significance of this statistic, one should consider by way of contrast the number of manuscripts which preserve the text of the ancient classic. Omia Inlaid is preserved by 457 papyri, 2 Unisha manuscripts, and 188 Minucious manuscripts. Among the tragedian, the witness to the Euripidi are the most abundant. His extant work are preserved in 54 papyri and 264 parchment manuscripts. Almost all of the later dating from the Byzantine period, the time between the composition of the book of the New Testament and the earliest extant copy of relative brief. Instead of the lapse of the millennium or more, as in case of not a few classical authors, several papyrus manuscripts or portions of the New Testament are extant, which were copied within a century or so after the completion of the original document. So, ọ̀gá Bat-Eman lélẹ̀ olóṣọ ilé orúkọ ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí Gary Aban sọ, another New Testament scholar náà ni ó kọ Reliability and Inspiration of the Bible. What is usually meant that the New Testament has far more manuscript evidence from far earlier period than other classical work. There are just under 6,000 New Testament manuscripts with copies of most of the New Testament dating from just 100 years or so after his writing. Classical sources almost always have fewer than 20 copies, each and usually date from 7 to 1,400 years after the composition of the work. In this regard, the classical are not as well attested. Why this doesn't guarantee truthfulness? It means that it is much easier to reconstruct. It is much easier, in contrast to what Bat-Eman said. He said it means that it is much easier to reconstruct the New Testament text. Regarding here, the gospel are usually taken today to be example of Roman biography. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré wo àwọn nǹkan kan kó tó di pé mo continue. Tá a bá wojú screen dáadáa, gbogbo àwọn ancient, because Bible is more ancient, ìgbà wo ni Quran dé? It's just medieval period. Ó kéré sí ìgbà tí Bible ti exist. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo nǹkan tí New Testament tó ti ṣe. A ní àwọn iṣẹ́ tó ti wáyé, àwọn nǹkan tó ti kọ sílẹ̀ bíi Tacitus, Anna, between 100 AD. Wọ́n kọ sílẹ̀ until 850 and surviving between the gap of 750 years and manuscript to survive 36 lásán ni. The same thing Herodotus history, òun náà 250 years gap ni 106 manuscript ló survive. The same thing with history of Thucydides, 150 years after ní wọ́n tó kọ 188 ni. Sophilic play also 150 years after 266 ni. Tá bá wo gbogbo ẹ lọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sórí New Testament because àkókò mi. New Testament was dated to 125 AD, 30 years after, and we have 5,856 manuscripts. Ẹ jẹ́ sáré fi hàn kan yín lójú screen bí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣe máa delay. Nígbà tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ pa àwọn orders, wọ́n máa dàbí 4 feet ni. Tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ pa àwọn tí ó dàbí 200 later, á dàbí 20 feet. Tá bá lọ sí New Testament torí àkókò mi, á dàbí 5,280 feet of the New Testament ní tá bá tó manuscript wá sílẹ̀ bó ṣe máa ga gìgìrì nìyẹn. So in comparing with the average Greek author, we have roughly 1,000 times as many copies of New Testament. That was what is it called? New Testament scholar Komoskis tó sọ. Òun àti Daniel Wallace ó sọ pé if the average size manuscript were 2 and 1.5 inches thick, all the copies of the work of average Greek author will stack up for 4 feet, while the copies of the New Testament will stack up to a mile high. This is indeed an embarrassment riches. Ẹ rò pé ta ló kọ? But Daniel Wallace àti Komoskis ló kọ. Now another person ó sọ wípé indeed ó sọ wípé textual critics of the New Testament is embarrassed by the weight of material. Guess ta ló kọ? Ọ̀gá Bat-Eman, Medgar àti Bat-Eman fúnra rẹ̀ ló sọ nǹkan tó sọ yẹn. So regarding this manuscript textual critics, there were only many of these are fragments, of course, especially the old ones. But the average Greek New Testament manuscript is well over 400 pages long, although there are more than 2.5 million pages of text. So that is what they said. Now let's quickly go to New Testament document have earlier manuscript. According to a scholar called Timothy N. Mitchell àti Elijah Mixon, wọ́n sọ wípé we are currently possess 6 New Testament that date from before the time of printing press. So before the time of printing press, we have New Testament. Now, these are the manuscript date. We have complete of New Testament between 325 AD, that is complete New Testament manuscript between 325 to 350 AD. One we Codex Vaticanus, we have Codex Sinaiticus, and we have many others also. We have the one that is dated between 200, that is Boma Papyrus. We have the one that is dated to 175, that is as early as 4th century. We have the one that is earliest manuscript, which also have so many. You can pause it and read what I have on the screen. So this is what we have so far about the synoptic gospel. We have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You can see the dating; they are still earlier than what we see. So it makes sense that New Testament were preserved, owing to the fact that we have copies of copies, despite that we have surviving manuscript from the earliest time, compared to so if we allow Quran to go through all these, Quran we will not even have a tissue of paper of the Quran. Let's quickly go to what actually happened before kí Muhammad tó kú. Ó yan àwọn sàhábà mẹ́rin kan. Nínú àwọn sàhábà mẹ́rin tó dẹ̀ yàn lélẹ́yìí, ó ní ọ̀ràn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin yẹn ni kí wọ́n ti máa kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ Quran. They should learn Quran from these 4. Orúkọ àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin náà ni Abdullah ibn Masud, Salim, a free slave of Abu Udayfa, Mudai bin Jabbar àti Ubay bin Ka'b. Mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin ni wọ́n pè. So the first name on the list is Abdullah ibn Masud, who Muhammad personally entrusts as authority on the Quran. Ubay Ka'b, another one of the 4, was also singled out by Muhammad and was considered to be the best reciter of the Quran of the time. In fact, Ubay was known as Sayyidun Quran, meaning the master of the reciter. Umar, the 3rd caliph, also agreed that Ubay was the best reciter. This is the brief history. Zayn ibn was very weak in the sense that his manuscripts are not even available, or they are not even reciting it at all. Abdullah ibn Masud is an official version of the Quran. Then of the earlier of the reciter. Then we have Salim, the first codex. Then we have Said ibn K. So year after Muhammad died, Abu Bakr, the first caliph, decided to compile the Quran, fearing it would be lost. But what happened? We have disaster. After Muhammad died in 632 AD, many Arabs tried to revolt, and some wanted to return to their religion. They led to the apostate war. This led to apostate war. The Caliph Abu Bakr went to war against the apostate. In one of these last war, known as Battle of Yamama, thousands were killed. By the end of the war, 700 reciter Hafiz of the Quran were dead. This was a disaster, and Umar, an upcoming leader and future caliph, foresaw the problem and realized that one day all the reciter would die. Without the reciter, there will be no more Quran. So he approached Abu Bakr and Caliph at the time. He suggested that Quran be compiled into a book. Abu Bakr, who had been the closest companion of Muhammad, was deeply troubled and suggested that and said, how can you do something which Allah apostle has not done? That means Muhammad has never done compilation of the Quran before. Abu Bakr kept on arguing until Abu Bakr was persuaded. Now, instead of going to the 4th teacher that Muhammad was personally selected, Abu Bakr decided to go to Zayn ibn Thabit, who has been a scribe of Muhammad, to ask him to compile the Quran. Zayd was shocked and said, how dare you do things which prophet has not done? The same thing the other person responded with. They argued until they persuaded him, and so Zayd took the task of who was not of the original 4 were trusted by Muhammad, began to collect those scrap of verses found on the stone, leaf bone, and from memory of men. They wrote it all onto sheets of parchment. Now, the question we need to answer ourselves, did Abu Bakr consult any one of the 4 men that Muhammad personally chose? No. Abu Bakr instructed Zayd ibn Thabit, who was a scribe, to do the job. Did Zayd consult or request help of any one of the 4 men that Muhammad chose? No. Were the 4 great earlier manuscript teachers upset that they were ignored and rejected? Yes, they were furious. They already had their own codex. After Zayn ibn Thabit finished compiling the first official Quran without input from the 4, the second Caliph Umar described the Quran. Let no one of you say that he has acquired the entire Quran. For how does he know that it is all? Much of the Quran has been lost. Thus, let him say say, I have acquired of it what is available. Remember that the people that were reciting it are already dead. Majority of them are dead, and that was what led to compilation of the Quran. What were this reaction of the four whom Muhammad had personally chosen and entrusted with the word of the Quran? Anger. They were angry. So what was their reaction? They were angry. Obviously, they were upset and angry because they were not consulted by Abu Bakr nor Ibn Zayd. What did they do? Many of these earlier well-known scholar reciter, including Ibn Masud, Ibn Kaib, Ali, Abu Musa, Al-Aswad, and other rejected Abu Bakr project and wrote their own version of the Quran.
Time off.
Okay, all right.
Time off.
All right, no problem. I can take it up later.
Yeah, no problem. Mr. Larry. Mr. Larry, are you there? Mr. Larry.
Yeah, mo wà pẹ̀lú yín. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ fún mi ní bóyá bíi 2 minutes kí n fi gather àwọn information kan.
Ṣé kán máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ni? Àbá àlàyé fẹ́ ká yìí. Àlèforí afẹ́fẹ́ sílẹ̀.
Ẹ kọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ fún 2 minutes ẹ.
Okay. Maybe ṣé ká báwo ni mo ìfẹ́ tó dàbí.
No, well, let him come back because my system is freezing. So I have where I'm going.
Ọkùnrin bí kò ó dà pé èmi àti yín lè máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ nígbà tí.
Ok, ṣé mo lè máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ báyìí?
Ẹ̀yin náà la fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbà tẹ́ tí wàá ní ká fún yín ṣẹ́jú.
Hello.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Hello.
Àkókò ti jẹ́ ti yín.
Ok, yeah, alhamdulillah. So brother Yahweh Sif tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lọ nísìnyí kọ́kọ́ mu lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Bible. Nǹkan tí mo rí lórí Bible tí wọ́n quote ni pé everything tí wọ́n sọ lórí Bible wọn ò tiẹ̀ tákù nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ lórí Bible rárá, bóyá sì máa padà wá tákù ẹ̀ tí àyè bá gbà wọ́n. So ìbéèrè tí mo bí wọ́n léèrè ni pé any manuscript tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ mú wá ẹ tẹ́ kọ́kọ́ substantiate ìpínlẹ̀ ẹ̀ náà. Kí ni ìpínlẹ̀? Ta lórí ọ̀wọ́n ẹni nígbà tí wọ́n ń kọ̀wé pé lágbájá báyìí kọ̀wé nígbà báyìí kí ẹ tó ṣe máa quote manuscript. But ó dàbí pé brother Yahweh Sif wọ́n ní kí ló máa ń pè é bàtẹ́mà wọ́n ní sínú ju èmi tí mò ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lọ nípa kíni because wọn tákù èmi fún ara mi wọn ò dẹ̀ mention anything nípa nǹkan tí mo sọ síwájú but bàtẹ́mà òun náà ni wọ́n attack ní gbogbo kíni gbogbo argument bàtẹ́mà ẹ̀ kò sí tí mo present fún wọn ní inú discussion wa èyí tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa yìí. So nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ wọ́n ní àwọn materials tí wọ́n fi kọ manuscript òun ló jẹ́ kí àwọn manuscript yẹn Bible tọ̀dọ̀ tí wọ́n kú rí jágbajàgba. Irú eléyìí náà wà nínú Quran náà lórí àwọn tó fi kọ manuscript wa tó já sí pé wọn ò náǹfààní àti kọ́ pẹ̀lú wọn preserve lọ títí lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. So kò jẹ́ kí lóòótọ́ ni kò jẹ́ kí kíní ẹ wà preserve. Àmọ́ lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n báwo ló ṣe wá já sí wípé nígbà tí wọ́n máa rí àwọn manuscript yẹn nígbà tó máa kọ́ tó máa já àbí tí nǹkan tó bá kọ sórí ẹ̀ tí ò ní dúró kí ló dé tó já sí pé wọn ò máa kọ́ tó máa tún kọ ní tuntun tó fi wá já sí pé à ń rí complete manuscript àwọn church father à ń rí ìwé tó àwọn church father kọ tó complete bóyá tí ò bá dé complete kí wọ́n correct ni a dẹ̀ ń rí àwọn historian náà tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ tíwé wọn wà ńlẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọn bó ṣe wà nínú Christendom nìsín but how come tó fi wá já sí pé Bible ni ò sílẹ̀ ẹ wá wo wọ́n lọ mú wá láti 2nd century of Christianity wọ́n wá ka 30 years láàrin ìgbà yẹn wọ́n wá náà ti ní over 5,000 manuscripts tí wọ́n jáde àjọ ó normal now torí pé kíní kò dúró déédéé ń tẹ̀lé máa fi rí náà ní pé ní ìpele gbọ̀ngàn ni nǹkan tá a fẹ́ wò ká kọ́kọ́ wo foundation ẹ̀ kò sọ́lídà àmọ́bi tí òun gbọ̀n ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti wá so àwọn èèyàn lè máa spread káàkiri kí lágbájá máa kọ tiẹ̀ kí tàmẹ̀dó máa kọ sí ẹ̀ kò sí life ibẹ̀ so in a nutshell fọ́ọ̀mù bíi tí ó fi tó wà wá tá a ti ríyàn kan tó dá lójú pé lójoojú mi ní lágbájá báyìí ìyẹn kí ni mo rí bá sí Matthew Mark Luke John àtàwọn tó kọ any form of the book nínú Bíbélì ibo ni wọ́n ti rí wọn tí wọ́n fọwọ́ ara wọn kọ́ báyìí àbí tẹ́ni tó jẹ́rìí pé àmúmọ̀gbà tó ń kọ́ fún wa ní ẹ̀rí bẹ́ẹ̀ so wọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Quran torí pé àsìkò nígbà mi láti lè mú àwọn ẹ̀rí wá kébí náà sáré share screen mi lórí àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ but torí kó ti kú 2 minutes báyìí ẹ kí n sáré bọ́ treasure wọ́n ní before the death of Muhammad wípé Muhammad bí ọmọ kan àfọ àbí kọjá yìí.
Brọ́láre ẹ̀yin lẹ́lẹ́ pẹ́ fẹ́ lo 5 minutes ẹ̀yin lẹ́lẹ́ fẹ́ lo 5 minutes ẹ̀yin lẹ́lẹ́ pẹ́ fẹ́ lo 5 minutes ṣé ká bá yín fi 5 minutes kọ again ẹ̀yin lẹ́lẹ́ pẹ́ fẹ́ lo 5 minutes tẹ́lẹ̀.
ó ti di 5 minutes báyìí ó ti di ní 5 minutes ìyẹn ti lọ ó ti di 5 minutes báyìí òun náà mú sọ.
no ẹ̀yin lẹ́ fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Now a ti ń lo 5 minutes báyìí wọ́n ti sọ tọ̀dọ̀ tí wọ́n tán 5 minutes là ń lò ṣé ti pause time ṣá.
mo ti pause time nǹkan tí mo dára sọ ni pé àwọn ò agree pẹ̀lú 5 minutes.
ṣé ti pause time.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀yin lẹ́ agree pẹ̀lú 5 minutes. mo ń gbọ́ yín.
Let him continue. He said we are in 5 minutes now. Let him continue.
ìyẹn ti lọ sẹ́ a ti wà níbi 5 minutes báyìí.
ẹ continue.
a ti wà níbi 5 minutes báyìí.
okay continue.
okay now so brother yìí wọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Al-Qur'an wọ́n wá ní ànábì yan àwọn mẹ́rin kan kódà ìgbà tó tiẹ̀ máa tún wá gbé síra wọn tó tún máa kọ́ wọ́n tún gbé síra wọn nínú àwọn mẹ́rin tí wọ́n kà lálàkọ̀kọ́ Ubay ibn Ka'b Salim Mawla Abi Huzaifa Abdullah ibn Mas'ud wọn ò fi Said sí àmọ́nú ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tó máa gbé wá wọ́n gbé Said ibn Sabit sí mí wá Said ibn Sabit ò sí nínú àwọn mẹ́rin tí ànábì kà yẹn àwọn tí wọ́n collect Quran tí wọ́n kó Quran jọ ní tẹ́bálọ́wọ́ sọ Bukhari book 66 hadith 25 Qatada ó narrate hadith yẹn pé wọ́n bi Anas bin Malik léèrè pé ọmọ wo ni wọ́n máa ń kó Al-Qur'ani jọ nígbà ayé ànábì ó reply pé àwọn mẹ́rin ni àwọn mẹ́rin yẹn náà ní ta ni Zaid bin Sabit Abu Zaid Muaz Ubay Ka'b Muaz bin Jabal ó jẹ́ àwọn mẹ́rin ohun tó wọn ànábì ń sọ ni pé tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ Al-Qur'ani o àwọn tí wọ́n mọ Al-Qur'ani ká dáadáa jù ká pẹ̀lú ohùn àti dáadáa pẹ̀lú kíra òun lànábì ń sọ wípé Abdullahi ibn Mas'ud Ubay ibn Ka'b Salim Mawla Abi Huzaifa Salim Mawla Abi Huzaifa yìí ìtàn ẹ̀ wá ìpè ọmọ kékeré ni ló ti há Al-Qur'ani sórí tẹ́lẹ̀ wá wo Said ibn Sabit náà nínú gbogbo wọn tí wọ́n há Al-Qur'ani sórí ni brother yìí wá sọ wípé Abubakar gbígbà tó fẹ́ kó Al-Qur'ani jọ kó kọ́nsọ́ọ̀tì wọn náà Al-Qur'ani máa sọnù. Evidence of future purpose òun ni wọ́n fi kó jọ sójú kan bẹ́ẹ̀ so kí ni nǹkan tá a fẹ́ wá mú bẹ́ẹ̀ òun náà ni pé wọ́n ní Abubakar kò consult àwọn mẹ́rin wípé ẹni tó pè náà ni Said bin Ka'b Said bin Sabit kí ló dé tó pe Said bin Sabit torí pé Said bin Sabit náà ni ó jẹ́ best kìíní nínú àwọn best scribe nínú àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń kọ̀ǹkan lẹ̀ fún Ànábì wa Muhammad apá ìwà mẹ́nuba ọ̀rọ̀ As-Suyuti ọ̀rọ̀ Abdullah bin Umar tí ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wípé kẹ́ni kankan máa ti sọ pé òun ti kú kiri jọ táìmì ẹ ti lọ ní ìsìn mi bá sáré share screen mi kí sáré fi dìbọ́ǹkì ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tẹ́ bá lè gbà mí ní time bóyá kí n lo bóyá bí 2 to 3 minutes sí kí sáré fi share screen mi kí fi dìbọ́ǹkì ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn táìmì ti lọ báyìí nísìn owó time.
All right, so TMD, the floor is yours. So FSP ṣe 5 minutes náà ní fún TMD ẹ mọ̀ pé TMD ò agree pẹ̀lú 5 minutes initially.
wọ́n ti jáde wọn sí online.
Okay, so kí ni ká ṣe báyìí.
arákùnrin láre láwọn fẹ́ share screen wọn bí a ká fún wọn 2 minutes.
arákùnrin láre lè share screen yẹn ẹ kí n fún yín ní 2 minutes kẹfì sáré share screen.
ṣé yàwó fi ṣàbí bá ti dé.
ṣé wàá ń bẹ arákùnrin láre. bra láre. FSP ṣe ń gbọ́ mi.
mo ń gbọ́ yín.
All right, so ó dà pé bọ́lá ń rí mi mọ̀ bí àwọn náà sí bẹ́ẹ̀ or maybe wọ́n ní network ẹ jọ.
mo wà ń bí báyìí mo ń dá inú ṣé kí n sọ̀rọ̀ ni.
ó yẹ share screen yìí mo ti fún yín 2 minutes.
ṣé ń gbọ́.
mo ń gbọ́ yín dáadáa. hello àwọn aráalé ń complain wọ́n ní pé the debaters should ensure that. All right, ó yẹ ìsọ̀rọ̀ àti fún yín 2 minutes.
kí n share screen mi.
Yeah, I share.
Okay, yeah.
FSP allow screen.
mi ò tí ì rí o. Kò tí ì share o, kò tí ì sí screen bí o.
Àwọn ará ilé wọn ń complain lẹ́ẹ̀kan, wọ́n dẹ̀ ní right láti complain. Ẹ máa wo comment yìí sí wọn ní the debaters should ensure that they have good internet connection before coming online. We cannot just stay awake and burning for data with
Mo
all
tẹ
this
share kò lọ ni o.
So
Ṣé ti allow mi kí n present kí n share screen mi? Ṣé ti allow?
Ó ní sísítẹ́ẹ̀mù lẹ́wà àbí orí fóònù?
sórí system lẹ́wà borí phone.
Orí system wa.
Ẹ tẹ share ó máa share.
Ẹ ó máa
Mo ń tẹ share kò tẹ
Mr.
o.
Lanre rí ẹṣẹ́.
Ẹ máa tẹ present, ẹ máa rí present ìsàlẹ̀. So then share screen ẹ máa tẹ next. Share tẹ.
Mo ti tẹ present. Ó
Ẹ
ti
ti tẹ
lọ
share
síbi
screen.
share kí n share kí n select.
Ẹ tẹ share screen. Ṣé ẹ tẹ share screen?
Mo ti tẹ share screen, mo ti wà lórí share screen.
Alright,
Mo ti
ẹ máa wo àwọn
select
tab
entire
mẹ́ta
screen.
tó ń bẹ̀, entire screen. Ó yẹ wá click inú entire screen yẹn.
Okay, bóyá kí n lọ select tab.
Ẹ lọ sí entire screen.
Okay.
Ṣé get? Then from there ẹ máa rí screen system yín níbẹ̀ ní under entire screen yẹn. Ẹ wá click screen yẹn.
Mo
Ẹ
ti
ti
rí.
click screen yẹn.
Yeah.
Then
Ẹ
ìsàlẹ̀
ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
ẹ máa rí share nísàlẹ̀ ẹ share.
Ṣé ẹ ti rí screen mi? Ṣé ẹ ti rí screen mi?
Yeah, screen yín
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ó ti come up bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ṣé ẹ ti rí screen mi?
Yeah.
So àkọ́kọ́ ń bẹ̀ òun náà ni pé ẹ wo bí screen tí mo send yìí nígbà tẹ́ni yín sọ̀rọ̀ pé Zaid bin Sabit ní Abubakar lọ pé ẹni yín sọ̀rọ̀ pé Zaid bin Sabit narrated Zaid bin Sabit Abubakar sent for me and said you used to write the divine revelation for our last messenger so you should search for the Quran and collect it and started searching for the Quran till I found the last 2 verses. Ṣé ẹ ti rí pé níbi báyìí ẹni sọ wípé Abubakar sọ pé ìwọ ló máa ń kọ Al-Quran fún Ànábì ẹ dákun ṣé ẹni tó ń kọ wọn fẹ́ kọ Al-Quran nílẹ̀ ṣé ẹni tí ló máa lọ pè ní abẹ́ni tó ń kà á Ànábì sọ pé àwọn ènìyàn ni wọ́n ń ka Al-Quran tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ Al-Quran lẹ́nu wọn ó dárúkọ wọn bí Salim muna Abi Husayfa Abdullahi ibn Mas'ud àti ibn Abbas ibn Abbas.
Hello, sorry, my network disconnected.
Bro Lanre.
Ṣé mo lè bẹ̀rẹ̀? Ṣé mo lè sọ̀rọ̀?
Òun wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wá Al-Quran. Yeah.
Time 2 minutes yín ti pé ní 2 minutes.
I can hear you.
Yeah, 2 minutes yín ti pé.
Hello, ẹ fún mi ní ìṣẹ́jú méjì generator mi ti fẹ́ kú kí n sáré lọ dépo sí. Ẹ fún mi 5 minutes generator mi ti fẹ́ kú kí n lọ dépo sí.
All right, kò sí wàhálà. Àwọn máa continue nìyẹn.
Ẹ tó lọ ẹ pa kẹ tó fepo sí o, ẹ pa kẹ tó fepo sí mo bẹ̀ yín torí Ọlọ́run. Bóyá ẹ tẹ̀síwájú.
Ṣé mo lè sọ̀rọ̀?
Ẹ dúró ẹ má ti bínú ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mi ò rò pé ó máa dá láti ní kó continue tí àwọn ní still online kó lè mọ nǹkan tẹ́ bá sọ. Àbí kí lẹ rò?
Ó dà kò sí wàhálà.
Baby code ẹ jẹ́ kí mi àti yín ṣètàkùrọ̀ sórí àlejò orí afẹ́fẹ́ kó wà ní òfìfo.
So a máa bẹ̀ àwọn ará ilé náà lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ pé kó má bínú fún gbogbo àwọn gọ̀dọ̀gọ́dọ̀ tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì Nàìjíríà wa. Ọlọ́run máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ní orí ẹ̀.
Ǹjẹ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ náà la fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ o èmi àti yín la jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ o wọn yáwé sí kò dẹ̀ kan arákùnrin Ọlánre o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ǹjẹ́ lè sọ pé Quran is preserved. Torí ní èmi àti yín lọ̀rọ̀ yìí báyìí àwọn ará nísìnyí gbọ́ wa. Àbí ẹ lè sọ pé Bible is preserved because of this issue of manuscript tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí. Tá a bá gbé manuscript fáwọn méjì sọ fún wa ní lórí nǹkan jọ sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹni mo kàn fẹ́ ká ẹ má wà lẹ́jọ́ ẹ kàn máa jẹ́ létí tí ni. Kí ẹ sọ pé àyà Quran sọ pé the Quran is àti sọ Quran kalẹ̀ èmi sì máa ṣàlàbò fún. Ǹjẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìṣọ̀rọ̀ tí a lè gbẹ́kẹ̀lé ni pé Allah ṣe àlàbò fún Quran?
A lè gbẹ́kẹ̀lé má dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé ìdí tá a fi lè gbẹ́kẹ̀lé. Now tẹ bá rántí pé in Islam ọ̀nà méjì náà fi ń gbà preserve Quran, by memory and by written. So wọ́n dẹ̀ believe wọ́n trust memory wọn than written wọn. So ẹ máa rí pé tí Yorùbá sọ wípé àbí Bíbélì sọ wípé tí ìpìlẹ̀ bá ti bàjẹ́ ó ní pé kí lódodo yóò ṣe. Muhammad fúnra ara ẹ̀ nínú Sahih al-Bukhari book 4 number 1720 and then Sahih al-Bukhari volume 6 book 61 number 556. Aisha ló narrate, mother of the believer. The prophet had a man reciting the Quran in the mosque and said, "May Allah bestow his mercy on him, as he has reminded me of such and such verses of a such surah." Now, tí Muhammad fúnra rẹ̀ bá lè gbàgbé Quran, kí ni assurance tí wọ́n ní ó wà preserved? Ṣẹ́gẹ́sì ní sí, that's the first one. The second one again, ìyẹn ó ní pé we will make you, Quran lele, Quran chapter 87 verse 6 to 7. Ó ní pé we will make you, Allah ló sọ fún Muhammad, we will make you recite, O Muhammad, and we will not forget except what Allah should will. Ṣẹ́gẹ́sì ní sí. So Allah lè kọsẹ̀ láti forget Quran. Àwọn Quran verse kan rántí àwọn kan. Ní Quran chapter 2 verse 106, Allah wá sọ pé we do not abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten except that we bring forth one better than it or similar to it. Now, problem tó wà nínú ibẹ̀ yẹn òun lélẹ́yìí ni pé wọ́n ní Quran heavenly tablet according to Islam tó wà ń bẹ̀ tí ò lè change. Okay.
Nígbà tí wọ́n ti dé báyìí.
Okay, wọ́n ti dé. All right. So Quran yẹn fẹ́ sáré
mo lè continue ẹjọ́.
All right. Ẹ kí TMD kó continue báyìí. Màá share screen nítorí time. I mean, money TMD, brother Yahweh Steve. Mo ti miss wọn ni.
Ṣé kí n continue? Hello.
No, ṣẹ́jú méjì yín ti pé Yahweh Steve ni ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́.
Okay.
Ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún.
Mi ò gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ bóyá kó bẹ̀rẹ̀
Ìṣẹ́jú
kó
márùn-ún
start
Yahweh
again. Constituent
Ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún tí
Ayamita. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, ẹ ṣe ìkíní ó dàbí pé ẹni tí a jọ ń ṣe debate yìí kò understand the purpose tàbí ń ṣe debate. Ẹ jẹ́ bá mi mú ìtẹta ni wọ́n gbé ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ó dàbí pé wọ́n kò ń wá padà. Ẹ jẹ́ bá mi reset time yẹn. Okay, now ó dàbí pé ẹni tí a jọ ń ṣe debate, he doesn't understand what we are debating. Ohun tó kọ̀ sí purpose tàbí wá síbi is not because we want to talk about the authorship. Tó bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa authorship of the New Testament, I'm perfectly fitting to debate him on authorship of the New Testament. We will now also look at the Quran as well. He doesn't understand what we are debating. So as far as I'm concerned, it's red herring or deviate kúrò ní nǹkan tá a agree sí. Manuscript of the Quran and Bible preservation is what we want to discuss. If you want me to go to authorship, then that's separate on its own. So we are not talking about authorship, we are talking about the preservation of our manuscript, which was what Beat Aman said that led to it. You said I didn't touch any of your, that's not a rebuttal period. This is the rebuttal period. So whatever you claim at that time, even though I didn't note some of them, but at least I can remember some of them. And you said I was attacking Batama. No, I wasn't attacking Batama. I was even using Batama to prove myself right, that you people misunderstood him and you think he's exposing Christianity or he's mocking Christianity. Meanwhile, he was actually saying the truth. And where he got it wrong, his boss corrected him. His boss validate what he's supposed to have said because he learned from under him. The another thing, Timothy Sonike, you are talking about content of the verse. You want to go into that's not what we are discussing. Right there in Imokasi, what we are discussing that we agree on, I even sent the topic to you, was that we are talking about preservation of both Bible and Quran manuscript, not authorship. So then you are talking that I've listed the names of those people that I mentioned, and I can still go back to my text here and mention them. So let me see if I can still, my system is freezing. Okay, let me share this screen so that you can see. Share screen mi ti wà on. Share screen mi ti wà on.
FSP ẹjọ ẹ bá bọ̀rọ̀ ayáwé save enable screen wọn.
Kò tí ì sí ń bí ìfẹ́.
Okay. System yẹn hang.
Àkókò
Kí
yín
lẹ
lọ.
fẹ́ share gangan àbí kí n pause
Ẹ bá wọrí, mo ti rí nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ. Mo fẹ́ share tí ó ti wà lójú screen. So àwọn orúkọ tí mo mention, mo dárúkọ Ibn Masud, mo dárúkọ Ibn Kaib, mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ Ali bin Tab, mo dẹ̀ dárúkọ Uthman. He did not remember all those ones. Then lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí mo kúrò ń bẹ̀, mo sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ní àkọ́kọ́ ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀, mo dárúkọ èèyàn mẹ́rin kan, Abdullah ibn Masud, Salim, Muhammad bin Jabbar and Ubay bin Kab. Àwọn ni Muhammad ní kí wọ́n learn lọ́dọ̀ wọn. So I didn't get myself wrong. When I started talking about others, I was talking about how they were evolved in what is it called? In the way they learn. And at the end of the day, I show a screen now that you fail to see or that I have not shown at that time. The separate text or tradition was that Ibn Masud, Ubay ibn Kaib, and Ali ibn Talib and Uthman resection. We have copied from them, which later on we did not have any of their manuscripts. Maybe I should quickly talk about that. There is no manuscript. Uthman burnt all of them. The only resection that we have that produced some of the manuscripts that, text that they are reading today, that like Ibn Kathir, Nafi, Ibn Ammar and Ibn Ammar, Asim, Akasa, and all those stuff. He told their producer, wash at your house at the end of the day. They don't have their manuscript. And that was why we come online, that you will be able to show me the manuscript. That was the challenge I posed to you. I just showed my own. You cannot show your own. And the earliest manuscript you have that goes back is he predates Muhammad, and that is Birmingham manuscript, which is over 100 years before Muhammad was born. How can Quran exist before Muhammad was born? So that is what I want you to show us earliest manuscript of the Quran. We are not talking about authorship of the Quran or the Bible. We are talking about preservation of our manuscript. Uthman burnt your Quran, your manuscript, and none of them survived. And the current Quran you are using at the moment is 1924 Egyptian government worked on Quran, and that was printed for all of you. And I can show you evidences to that from your scholar. Even Shabi Ali attested to it, and I can show you when I come back. So please show me the manuscript of your Quran. You said that you also have all those things. How do you know you have all those things that my New Testament has? You don't. Show me one manuscript evidence that prove that you have what we, and the time Muhammad, the current manuscript that you have existed, or the one that they discover, does not even we have we have a cleaning or what is it called, a lot of interjection or cleaning or written over text upon the other. I can mention tons of scholars that talks about it. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you have not provided anything to me, so I'm expecting to provide manuscript evidence to prove that you have it. Thank you.
All right, so Bralare, over to you. Your 5 minutes starts now.
You don't love 3 times.
3 minutes.
2 rounds, right?
3 minutes, Abi 5 minutes.
2 rounds, look, right? 2 rounds.
5 minutes, not the time.
Fún mi láyè kí n share screen.
All right. FSP, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mo fẹ́ share screen.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, go ahead.
All right. So ibi tí mo ti stop lẹ́ẹ̀kan rèé. Any attack, brother yìí wọ́n attack Said bin Sabit. Ike Said bin Sabit ìgbà tóun náà máa kú Quran jọ. Ike kò pé àwọn tí nínú àwọn mẹ́rin yìí sí. So mo fi wá ṣe eléyìí ẹ wo bíbá yìí nísìnyí o. Said bin Sabit ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bóun ṣe kó Quran jọ. Ó lóun pe àwọn èèyàn. Ó ní ẹ wo láti bíbá yìí láti ibi tí ìníwà. Ó ní what was written palm stalks in white stone. On Abubakar and Umar. So I started looking for the Quran and collecting it from what was written on palm stalks, thin white stones, and also from the men who knew it by heart, and also from the men who knew it by heart. Ẹ ká lọ wo ìyẹn ti clear bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wípé ẹni yìí kò dá àṣà rẹ̀ pa ó dẹ̀ pé àwọn ẹni tí ó yẹ kó pè wọ́n sí bẹ́ẹ̀. So ká wá padà lọ wo nǹkan tí brother yìí tí wọ́n pè nípa ọ̀rọ̀ pé ohun tí mo ní mistake tí mo ní wọ́n ṣe àwọn ni wọ́n sọ wípé Said bin Sabit kò pe àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin yìí dá sí ìgbà tó dẹ̀ tún sọ pé àwọn best teacher of Quran wọ́n tún dápọ̀ Said bin Sabit mọ́ ẹ ti rí pé brother yìí wọ́n sọ wọn tí ànábì sọ pé ẹ máa lọ gba Quran lọ́dọ̀ wọn tí ò sí Said bin Sabit nínú orúkọ wọn àmọ́ nígbà tí wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ best teacher of Quran wọ́n tún kọ Said bin Sabit mọ́ níwà kò sí Said bin Sabit nínú wọn Said bin Sabit tó jẹ́ hafizu Quran ó rà Quran sórí ó dẹ̀ smart gẹ́gẹ́ bí Abubakar ṣe sọ nínú previous hadith tí mo kọ́kọ́ gbé wá so ìyẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n tún wá mention kan nínú kan ní ìbọn kí kọ́kọ́ sáré sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Christianity yẹn bọ́dà yẹn sọ wípé mi ò understand important debate lórí debate lórí authorship à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa preservation Al-Quran òun náà ni à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa preservation Bible náà òun ti sọ pé kẹ́ ẹ lọ mú wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ nígbà tẹ́ máa kọ́ mú tẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Quran ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn tó ń bá ànábì lò gbà tó gba Quran lọ́wọ́ ànábì direct èmi náà wá ní ẹ mú ẹ̀rí ẹ wá ẹni tó gba gospel direct lẹ́nu Matthew John àbí kí ló ń pè àbí Mark àbí Luke ohun tí mo ní ẹ mú wá nìyẹn ẹ má ṣì mí gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ manuscript náà la sọ ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ló ti máa wá ibẹ̀ ni a ti máa kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ náà kẹ́ tó lọ máa gbé manuscript wọn tá a mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ kẹ́ tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wọn ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń àtàkì bat eman kò ṣe mí lẹ́ ń bá wí so àkọ́kọ́ nínú àwọn nǹkan tí mo máa ń kọ́ mú wá òun náà ni pé wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Suyuti ẹni yóò mọ̀ nǹkan tí ó ń jẹ́ Suyuti mo believe pé wọn ò rí tíra ẹ̀ gbogbo rí so tẹ́ bá lọ wo inú Suyuti gbogbo fúnra rẹ̀ Suyuti yọ kíní ẹ jáde nípa kíní ní tẹ́ bá wo bí báyìí in Abu Ubaid lọ́dọ̀ Abu Ubaid lélẹ̀ but Suyuti lélẹ̀ Suyuti bring this narration in the section of this work titled as section 47 about the abrogating and the abrogated ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ yí pé kíní kẹ́ni kankan yí pé Abdullahi ibn Umar ó ní kẹ́ni kankan máa sọ pé òun ti ka òun ní gbogbo Al-Qur'ani lọ ṣé kò mọ iye tó ti lọ́bẹ̀ yí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti lọ́bẹ̀ ó ń ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lómi ohun tó mì àwọn abrogated verses so nínú another source tó tún gbé kíní ẹ wá òun náà wà nínú what all was abrogated from the Quran after revelation and is not put in the Masahib ohun tó mú wá nìyẹn ó wá níbi báyìí oníwàkọ̀dé àkọ́jà bùnú doris min hadith ibn Umar ní àdìsí tẹ́ni yìí ń kà náà ni ó àná òkà náà yẹ kọ̀ọ̀rú àyẹ̀kúlà rọ́jùlù kọ̀ráàtù kùhánù kùdúrù wọn tí ibn Umar máa sọ pé èèyàn kan ò gbọdọ̀ máa sọ pé òun ti ka gbogbo Al-Qur'ani tán ọ̀yẹ̀kúlù ẹ̀nà mi ní Qur'anan kọ̀dẹ̀rọ̀ fàhà ẹni ìlú ṣẹ̀wá gbogbo wa báyìí pé ohun tó ń sọ ni pé but the reality àdìsí mi lélẹ́yìn kan yẹn bùn dọ̀rẹ́ ó ní but the reality is a part of the Quran has been abrogated. Tẹ́ bá lọ wo hadisi yẹn ẹ máa wọ́n tí wọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani wọ́n sọ nínú ìtírà wọn Fathul Bari ní volume 9 page 187 yeah page 187 so àwọn náà sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ tún wo ẹni yìí náà wà náà wù riwayat Abdullah ibn Abbas ó ní ẹ̀rí ọ̀rọ̀ Abdullah ibn Abbas yìí àni ubeyu anáwó sẹ́mi àwọn akọ̀dìkọ́lẹ̀ láwùrọ̀ jùlọ wípé ẹnìkan sọ fún pé ya Abal Munzar ìwọ Abu Musa ní kọ́ni jama'atu Qur'an mo ti kó gba Qur'an jọ fakọ́lá lẹ́wù mọ́ yudrika la'allahu qad saqata Qur'anan kathirun fàmọ̀ wíjìdá ba'dahu níbi tẹ́ni yìí náà sọ ó ní wọ́n ti abrogate náà ni ní tẹ́ni yìí ń sọ nípa ẹ̀ so tẹ́ bá tún wá lọ wo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí náà ẹni ẹ wá explain síwájú pé la yambaghi lahadin an yadda'i annahu qad jama'a ma unzila min nasikil Qur'an wọ́n ní kò tọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan kó máa ní òun ti kó gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n ti nínú àwọn tó kó nínú Al-Qur'an àwọn tí wọ́n ti parẹ́ wà mansukha àwọn nǹkan tó ń pa nǹkan rẹ̀ àti tó ti parẹ́ wà kó olóhùn fi mọ̀ wújìdá so eléyìí wá tún fi wọ́n sí pé ìkọ̀kùn ò lọ nínú Al-Qur'an rárá
time up. All right. So Yahweh say you also have 5 minutes.
Okay. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí màá tún mẹ́nu mọ́ nǹkan tí mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan.
Ẹ jẹ́ má bínú TMD. Má bá yín reset time yẹn jẹ́ má bínú. So fún àǹfààní àwọn tó ń gbọ́ ní FSP as the moderator of this debate debate tí à ń ṣe lálẹ́ yìí nísìn, so I don't know, maybe after the program ẹ lè discuss papọ̀ or something, or the understanding tí ẹ jọ ní lórí debate topic yẹn. So official debate, there is difference between preservation and authorship. Ìyàtọ̀ wà nínú méjèèjì. So preservation simply means pé tí ní nǹkan lẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ wá ń béèrè pé báwo náà ṣe preserve nǹkan yẹn, báwo tó fi wà dé ní. So authorship simply means you are talking about how it is being written down. It's different from if you check online scholarly, even between the Muslims and Muslims to sound like that you will see them. Ali Ate has done many. You will see Shabi Ali, Rashid Kadri. There are many. So they understand the difference between preservation and authorship. So debate is even confused. Walale, authorship lẹ́ sọ àbí preservation lẹ́ discuss. So yẹn mo kàn ní kí n chip in. Mo máa sọ iṣẹ́ Simon sìn ẹ lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí.
Okay, ẹ ṣe nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí náà nìyẹn pé one, arákùnrin yóò understand nǹkan tá à ń debate lé lórí. You want to drag me into authorship of the Bible? I'm ready to tutor you on that. I'm very good at that. I will tutor you on that. It's not something I can scared of, but I won't even mention it at all. If you want me to talk about it, I can talk because I have limited time. Now, if he consulted all these people that you mentioned that they said they should learn Quran from, why did they write their own Quran, and why did they get angry with the collation he did by Abu Bakr? Why would they get angry and wrote their own codex? And where are their codex today? According to the hadith, said that I'm coming. Let me try and pull out an evidence for you. Coming. I wish I can. Okay, look at this. He was talking about Ubay was the best reciter, yet we leave out some of what he recited. I have another one. It said, the people who have been guilty of deceit in the reading of the Quran, I like it better to read according to the recitation of him, the prophet, whom I love, more than that of Zayd bin Tabid. By him, beside whom there is no God. I learned more than 70 surah from the lips of the apostle of Allah. May Allah bless you. Why Zayd ibn Tabi was a youth, having two locks and playing with the youth. This person is getting angry. He was talking about to then interrupt me. So why would they be getting angry, and why would they write their own text separately, to the extent that at the end of the day, Uthman has to burn all their codices? Where I want you to show me, we are talking about manuscript preservation. Where is Salim codex today? Where is Ibn Kabe? Where is his manuscript or codex till today? Do you know why they killed Uthman? Do you know that his blood was spilled over his own manuscript that he preserved for himself after the one he has sent out? You don't. So what I'm asking for is you should show me. I insist. Show me. I have just shown you my own, and I've explained why it is like that. And you said something the other time. Also, you said that how did they, if the author of the New Testament, the manuscript could not be preserved because of the situation of the material, why did other who wrote their text survive today, like Church Father? I think you don't understand the timing and the date of their writing. You don't understand. And I've cited over 9 different secular texts that existed before the Bible, and even at the time of the New Testament text, that they were written much more later, yet their manuscripts that survived were so minor. And compared to New Testament, who was written and the manuscripts were preserved, and we have abundant manuscripts, which Bat Ehrman and his boss and many other scholars that have quoted substantiated and agree with me. I was saying I wasn't attacking Bat Ehrman. I was using him because you wanted to use the video to counter Christian, as if Bat Ehrman is mocking us or we don't have Bible or manuscript. I use Bat Ehrman to prove my point, and where he differs, I use his boss to expose that aspect of it. That his boss said, no, the Christian can reconstruct their New Testament from the existing manuscript that they have of the copies. They can reconstruct their New Testament. So, of all I've said, I'm not going to go back to authorship. If you want us to talk about authorship, we can talk about it separately. There is a difference between authorship of the text and the manuscript preservation. That's not how they do debate. If you want to talk about authorship, and I know where you want to go, you mentioned Matthew. Matthew was written in Aramaic. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that evidence from? I wish that you can present that evidence. I have evidences that it was written in Greek. People said that it was written in Hebrew, but scholars have debated it and discovered that it was later translated into, because the lingua franca of the time was Greek, and Matthew was works in the temple works with the Roman government as tax collector. So he understands the Greek language, so he could read and write. The same thing with Luke, the same thing with Mark, the same thing with everybody. They wrote in the language of the time. They were not writing outside the language that people can understand at the time. If you now see New Testament in Hebrew, which I have seen many people that are presented, they agree. I have a YouTube channel where they discuss this thing. They agree that it was later translation. Aramaic New Testament were later translation. None of them. It was little people that speak Aramaic at the time. Jesus himself was multilingual. He spoke Aramaic, Greek, and Hebrew, even probably Latin. But these three languages were used even on the cross of Jesus Christ. But majorly, they write in Greek. So I don't know where you get the idea from. So if you want about the authorship, we can go to the authorship and you can see what happened. Thank you.
All right, FSP. So what's the next line, FSP? FSP. I think it should be for 5 minutes.
Oh, my time, right?
No. It should be crossfiring now.
Yes, it should be crossfiring. You should ask me questions and answer.
It should be crossfiring. So, who is going first? Brother Arishem, I'm going to be a question about Yahweh saves, no? Abi, you have 5 minutes. Brother Ari.
Mi ò gbọ́ nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ.
Crossfiring lè wà ń sìn, crossfiring. Ẹ máa crossfire wọn, àwọn adé crossfiring náà. So, any 3 minutes láti
mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ, mo ti ń bá Yahweh Save lọ sọ̀rọ̀ lọ báyìí. Yahweh Save,
no.
Ẹ sọ wípé bóyá mo ń drag ẹ padà síbi authorship. Mi ò drag ẹ padà síbi authorship o. N tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, òun náà ni ọ̀rọ̀
crossfiring lè wà. Crossfiring.
Òun náà ni mo fẹ́ béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ ni.
Okay.
Mo fẹ́ béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ ni sẹ́.
All right, 3 minutes into bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí. Yeah.
Okay. Mi ò dá ẹ padà lọ síbi authorship. Nǹkan tí mo request fún ẹ ni pé, nǹkan tí mo request lọ́wọ́ ẹ ni pé, nígbà tá a rí àwọn tí wọ́n gba Quran direct lọ́dọ̀ Ànábì àtàwọn tí wọ́n kọ́lẹ̀, ìwọ náà mention Zaid bin Sadit. Hadith tó gbé wá last year, ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Abdullahi ibn Mas'ud tó lóun gba 70% direct lọ́dọ̀ Ànábì, òun dẹ̀ gba 30% lọ́dọ̀ ẹlòmíì. So anmọ́nìkíwọ́ náà fún mi, àwọn tí wọ́n gba manuscript tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa yìí tó gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n kọ́, tó fi wá já sí pé àwárí, tó fi wá já sí pé àwọn tí wọ́n wá ń kọ́ àkọ́túnkọ ni. Like Al-Quran nísìn, àwọn tí àwọn èèyàn ha sórí, wọ́n tún wá tún kọ́ sílẹ̀, tó tún wá tún gbogbo ilé tó lọ gbé wá pé tó wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ Usmani manuscript, this and that. Ó ń ṣe ọ̀dọ̀ ara Usmani manuscript, kíra ni wọ́n ń pè. Ó ń ṣe pé Al-Qurani tó wá ń bẹ̀, kíra òun náà fi kọ̀ wọn Al-Qurani tó wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ tó wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ orúkọ yẹn sámi. But kí n lọ síbi tí mo lọ direct, òun náà ni pé mo ní kó provide àwọn tí wọ́n gbà direct tó fi wá já sí pé wọ́n wá kọ́ tí kíkọ́ wọn ẹ̀ tó wá já sí pé àtúwárí tó fi wá jẹ́ copy of the copy. Òun ni nǹkan tá a rí, nǹkan tí mo ń béèrè nìyẹn.
So what's your point?
My point is to provide the name àbí àwọn witness tí wọ́n gba ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n gba kíní ẹ̀ direct lọ́dọ̀ Matthew tí wọ́n wá tún wá tún kà kọ́.
Okay. You are using Matthew for instance. Okay. Actually, I don't have much name, but I know that we have chain of narration. For instance, in the book of John, we have what is it called? Witnesses to them. Apart from church fathers, we have many scribes that write at that time, and also we have what they call
please provide the witness. Hold on. One witness for book of John.
Okay, we have Polycarp. We have Polycarp, we have Ignatius, we have
provide the Polycarp sọ pé òun ti rí John tó ń kọ ìwé.
He was a
I agree
disciple
that
of John.
Polycarp,
He was a
student
disciple. Hold
John,
on. He was a
provide
disciple
ibi
of
tí
John.
Polycarp ti sọ pé òun rí John nígbà tó ń kọ Gospel of John.
He was
Provide
he
ibi
was
tí
a disciple
Polycarp
of
sọ
John.
pé òun rí
Tán bá pè
John
yàn ní
nígbà tó ń kọ
disciple, hold
Gospel
on.
of
Tán
John.
bá pè yàn ní tán bá pè yàn ní disciple
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni
èèyàn kan. Hold on.
mo
Tán bá pè yàn ní
mọ̀,
disciple èèyàn
provide ibi
kan.
tí Polycarp sọ pé
Okay, I don't have it at the
òun rí
moment.
John níbi tó
You
ti
know,
kọ Book of John.
I don't have it at the moment. If you want me to provide, I can provide it.
At the
That means
moment kò
I will
sílẹ̀
use part
àbí?
of your time.
Okay, jẹ́ ká
But
sọ
you said I should
dìgbà míì, ìyẹn
mention
ti
him
lọ
and I've
bẹ́ẹ̀.
mentioned him.
Ṣé kí n tún béèrè míì?
Oh, yeah, béèrè mi.
Ṣé kí n tún béèrè míì?
Go ahead.
Okay, ó ní ìyẹn ò sílẹ̀, àárí ẹni tó gba kíní wá direct. Nígbà tá a wá rí ẹni tó gba manuscript wá direct, kí ló fún ẹ ní assurance pé àwọn manuscript ẹ rí yẹn ó wà original, ó wà authentic láti ẹ̀wọ̀n tẹ attribute wọn sí direct?
We have witness, we have both, I mean, external evidences for that. We have testimony of the church father that said that this so person write this
Provide
and
external
copy this.
evidence
So we
náà
have
ni mo
evidences.
béèrè.
We have Ignatius. If you want to research,
Time
you can
up.
research that.
Time up.
We have a lot of
Mention church
Time
father
up.
tó mo ti
Time
béèrè
up.
lọ́wọ́
I
ẹ̀,
just
ó ti
mentioned
sọ pé ò ní
Time
one now.
up.
I have
Time up.
Ignatius.
Okay,
I can
yeah.
mention 7 if you want me to
Time
mention that.
up. Time up. Time up. All right. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí kíní ẹ try láti kó máa wà civilized in a way tó jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn tó bá ń gbọ́ lé wa gbọ́ lé máa lè ní better understanding ṣe get nísìn. So bro Yahweh saves ẹ ní 3 minutes so
Okay,
láti crossfire wọn.
Okay, now àti rí ẹ̀rí látọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gágun ọ̀gá Ọlánre. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé ẹ lè dárúkọ àwọn manuscript, a lè dárúkọ àwọn extant manuscript yín tó exist tó wà earlier manuscript yín tí ẹ wà familiar pẹ̀lú, ibo la dẹ̀ ti lè rí wọn lónìí?
Mi ò gbọ́ dáadáa.
Ibo la ti lè rí àwọn, kí lórúkọ àwọn earliest manuscript yín tí ẹ ní àti ibo la ti lè rí wọn lónìí? Ibo la ti lè rí wọn?
Mi ò gbọ́ anything mọ́.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bébí kò ṣe ń gbọ́ mi, ó yẹ máa reset time
Mi
yẹn.
ò gbọ́.
Mo ń gbọ́ yín, èmi ń gbọ́ yín, mo ń gbọ́ yín
Mo ti ń gbọ́ báyìí.
Okay, reset time yẹn dákun.
Mo ti ń gbọ́ báyìí.
Okay, reset time yẹn. Okay, nǹkan tí mo ń béèrè ni wípé a ti sọ̀rọ̀, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa manuscript evidences and a dẹ̀ ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín wípé tí ìrírí ẹ̀rí kankan múlẹ̀ fún wa pé orúkọ manuscript báyìí lẹ ní àti báyìí ni wọ́n ṣe preserve, ibo ló wà, ibo láti lè rí wọn kà. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ lè dárúkọ àwọn manuscript yẹn àti ibi tá ti lè rí wọn lónìí, or bóyá kẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ share screen yẹn kẹ́ ẹ fi hàn wá bí wọ́n ṣe rí, kẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ dárúkọ ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ wọ́n, ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ, can we date it back to Muhammad? Ẹ lè fún wa example.
Manuscript tí màá kọ́kọ́ present òun náà ni Ìjásí script. Àwọn manuscript wọn kọ ní with Ìjásí script. So
ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ àti déètì wo ni wọ́n kọ?
Mo ń bọ̀. Àwọn manuscript wọn kọ ní Ìjásí script yẹn. Ọ̀kan lára wọn òun náà ni eléyìí tó wà ní Germany tí wọ́n ń pè ní Tübingen. So Tübingen manuscript ó wà ní Germany.
Ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ ẹ̀jọ̀? Mo ní time mi lọ. Ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ?
So wọ́n kọ ní ó wà dated back to 649 and 675.
Evidence yẹn dà.
675, see that is
evidence yẹn dà.
679 to 675 AD.
Ìgbà wo ni Muhammad jẹ́ prophet? Ìgbà wo ni Muhammad gba revelation? Ǹjẹ́ ìmọ̀ nípa
ìgbà wo ni Muhammad gba revelation? Muhammad ti kú ní gbogbo ìgbà tá à ń sọ yìí.
Okay, ǹjẹ́ ìmọ̀ nípa Birmingham manuscript? Ṣé ìmọ̀ nípa Birmingham manuscript?
Mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní kí n present manuscript, mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Tübingen manuscript lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́.
Ǹjẹ́ ìmọ̀ nípa ẹ má gba time mo ní time mi ti fẹ́ lọ. Ǹjẹ́ ìmọ̀ nípa Birmingham manuscript?
Okay, ẹ gba Tübingen tí mo mú wá fún yín máa bí.
Ǹjẹ́ ìgbà nípa Birmingham manuscript? We have move on.
Okay, ẹ ká sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Birmingham manuscript. Mo mọ̀ nípa Birmingham manuscript tí Alba Fideli tó discover nínú My Ghana.
Ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ ẹ̀jọ̀?
Ṣé ẹ gbọ́ mi báyìí?
Ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ? Ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ?
Ìgbà wo ni wọ́n kọ? Ó wà radiocarbon, ó wà dated back to 600 and mo ń bọ̀ kí n wá accurate kíní wá accurate reference wá lórí ẹ̀.
Ẹ ti waste time ni. Okay,
mo fẹ́ mú reference gidi wá lórí ẹ̀.
ẹ jẹ́ ká move on because time mi ti lọ. Nǹkan tí mo wà lójú screen mo rò bí ẹ lè rí screen mi, nǹkan tí Shabi Ali sọ, ó ní today most Muslims read the Quran in a text that is referred to as the Egyptian edition of Quran. That shows scholars refer to it. Most Muslims may not have realized that. Ó wá sọ pé but this is not the only text of the Quran that is read throughout the world. Ǹjẹ́ ìgbàgbọ́ wípé Quran tó wà lọ́wọ́ yín lónìí is 1924 Quran, Egyptian edition.
Time up.
Ẹ jẹ́ kán dá mi lóhùn.
Time up.
kí ni sọ.
Time up.
ẹ yẹ kó lo time mi, ẹ yẹ kó lo 3 minutes mi, ẹ yẹ kó lo 3 minutes mi baby code.
No, ní kò sí crossfiring mọ́.
Mo ní kó lo 3 minutes mi baby code.
Ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan ní crossfiring, wọn kì í ṣe crossfiring lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́.
Time up meaning.
Yeah, at the end nìyẹn, so you just
Hello.
give us your conclusion. Time up Lawa. So you just have 2 minutes to give us conclusion. Nísìnyí.
Mi ò gbọ́ nǹkan tí ẹ ń sọ.
Time up ni, but ẹni ẹ̀kan ní 2 minutes láti fún wa ní conclusion báyìí.
Ṣé mi ni mo ní kíní báyìí nísìnyí?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni 2 minutes to conclude. For conclusion.
Yeah.
Kò kí n ṣe presentation, kò kí n ṣe questioning.
Èmi ni mo ń lọ, èmi ni mo fẹ́ give conclusion, right?
Yeah. The time start now.
All right. Conclusion mi, alhamdulillah, ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo bí pẹ̀lú gbogbo atótónu tí bọ́dà wa tí wọ́n wí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Bible, lórí ọ̀rọ̀ manuscript Bible, ibi tó jẹ́ Genesis Bible and foundation gangan wọn lè establish ẹ̀ nípa wípé kí ni mo ní kọ́ mú fún wa ní direct witness tó náà rí anybody tó bá kọ any of the manuscript kọ gbé wa àbí ẹni tó kọ gangan bá a ṣe rí Ibn Mas'ud tó sọ fún gba Al-Quran direct 70%. Brother yìí náà lọ ṣe ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣó ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ́ wọn ọ̀rẹ́ ló ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni tó lè fi substantiate tó lè fi back up claim wọn lórí ti Bible bẹ́ẹ̀. So nígbà tí Bible ti wá rí báyìí ajá sí pé kò wà reliable pẹ̀lú gbogbo discrepancies èyí tá à ń rí lórí ẹ̀ ní inú manuscript ni àti léni lórí àwọn translations tá à ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà. So unlike Quran ọmọ èèyàn há sórí yàtọ̀ sí pé híhá sórí wọ́n tún kọ́lẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn tún há sórí ní billions ọmọ èèyàn tí wọ́n há Quran sórí. Káwá padà sórí àwọn nǹkan tí brother yìí mú wa lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Al-Quran. Wọ́n mú ọ̀rọ̀ Abdullahi ibn Umar wá èyí tá a dìbọn fún wọn yìí pé ìtúkùtù ni wọ́n lọ tú níbẹ̀ yìí pé Ibn Umar ní kéèyàn kan máa náà ti pa Al-Quran níjọ yìí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ Al-Quran ló ti lọ tí ò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ tí wọ́n rí àti dìbọn kẹ́ pé ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa abrogated part. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Zaid bin Sabit pé kí ló dé tí ò pọ̀ wọn táwọn bí nominate irọ́ àti establish náà pé Zaid bin Sabit ó pọ̀ wọn tí wọ́n nominate. Wọ́n béèrè nípa Quran manuscript àti pé Toby Game fún wọn but brother yìí wí pé wọn ò ní agreement kankan lórí Toby Game wọ́n wé ìpẹ̀dà ni wọ́n lọ sí Birmingham but torí pásìkò gbà wá a lè sọ̀rọ̀ lórí Birmingham mọ́. So in short alhamdulillah oníkálukú wa àti ibi tó fojú wọn báyìí níbi ibi tó ọ̀rọ̀ Bible dé lélẹ̀ gbogbo eléyìí tó dẹ̀ pamọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Quran ibi tó fojú wọn rí wọn ò lè mú Bible kí wọ́n gbé lọ sípìnlẹ̀ bá a ṣe lè gbé Al-Quran lọ sípìnlẹ̀ bọ́ọ̀ náà ṣe lọ tún ìpìnlẹ̀ wa jáde bá a ṣe correct wọn lórí ẹ̀. In this case Bible ṣe nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ lè lò nígbà tí ò ní ìpìnlẹ̀ gidi tó dẹ̀ já sí pé wọn discrepancies àwọn errors ó pọ̀ nínú ẹ̀ ní ṣe báyìí. Unlike Al-Quran tọ́wọ̀n yẹn há sórí kódà kí wọ́n kó Al-Quran kúrò ní ẹ̀ tó kọ́ ìrìn jáde wọ́n á tún kọ́ Al-Quran mi wọ́n á gbé Al-Quran mi jáde so Al-Quran ló ń pèsè fún ẹ̀ alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Time up. All right. Bro Yahweh Save, you also have 2 minutes. Your time start now.
Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ bá a mú ti audio yín ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Gbogbo ara lé ẹ rí pé nǹkan tí mo lè kókó ẹnu wípé arákùnrin will understand the topic tí a ní àjọṣe fẹ́ ṣe debate lórí. We are talking about evidences to our manuscript and a dẹ̀ provide the evidence fún manuscript wa fún a dẹ̀ fi hàn wípé báyìí ni manuscript wa ṣe rí ìdí tí ò fi rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Nǹkan tó dẹ̀ prompt ẹ̀ òun ni pé audio àti video tí wọ́n circulate káàkiri òun ló prompt debate. I was able to prove beyond doubt that I have manuscript and even we can still have surviving manuscript evidences that we can look at too. So there were earlier extant manuscripts. We also have copies that we can rely on. Actually, he was asking for the name of the scribe. There are many places in the Bible where they mention scribe and Pharisees. Their names were not even mentioned. That doesn't mean that they are not true or they are not genuine. And even if we want to go by that, we have chain of narration. Even if we want to go by oral tradition, we also have oral tradition. We have Polycarp, we have Ignatius, we have many others that have this transmission from their from the people that that discipled them. Apart from that, we have scribe, a lot of scribe that wrote, and it doesn't necessarily, there's no presupposition that everybody must be mentioned, because they are not just one, they are not just two, because before a text can be true. That's not how historical record works at all. Unlike the Quran to them is from Allah, and it is well preserved, and they transmitted it orally. But we saw that there were differences and there were discrepancy along the way, to the extent that Uthman has to burn the manuscript of the Quran. Even today, what they have today is 1924 Quran, and it cannot be traced back to Muhammad, talkless of Uthman. However, the earliest manuscript that they have was Birmingham manuscript, which was predates Muhammad by 100 years. And till today, no Muslim has ever provided evidence to dispute that it is not. They contain 2 chapters alone, and those chapters.
Time up.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Adúpẹ́ oníyanṣẹ́ ọlọ́bẹ̀ ṣe àwọn ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wa jẹ́ náà ẹ̀kọ́ àìbínú ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin ará ilé, time ti lọ past 11 láwa. So a lè má ní àǹfààní àti gba question, and then kò sí àwọn question gan níbí báyìí, so tí a lè náà fẹ́ béèrè. So kò sí question ni mo ti check ẹ̀ dáadáa, so kò sí question. So ẹ jẹ́ má bínú, nǹkan ẹ̀kọ́ lèmi kàn fẹ́ get ká tó di pé a máa round up KFSP tó gba kínní. Bro Lanre, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi? Bro Lanre o.
Mo ń gbọ́, mo wà pẹ̀lú yín.
Okay, èmi kàn fẹ́. Okay, ṣé gan, èmi me as a student, mo kàn fẹ́ kọ orúkọ manuscript ẹ dárúkọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn lẹ̀, so KFSP tó dé wá kàn kọ́ wá parí program. Kí lórúkọ manuscript ẹ dárúkọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn náà?
All right, to be Gen manuscript tó wà ní Germany, to be Gen TUBIG wọ́n ṣe bákọ̀bàkọ̀ báyìí bí èdè Germany báyìí, then Gen tó tẹ́ bá gbogbo ẹ máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Then Samarkand manuscript lára ẹ̀ náà ni. Topkapi manuscript lára àwọn kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ present táyé ògbà.
Bro Lanre, TURBI. Irọ́ ta lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tẹ dárúkọ yẹn. TURBI. Mo ń gbọ́ yín. Ṣé TUBI nìkan ni? TURBI nìkan àbí? GEN. All right, mo kàn fẹ́ note tẹ́lẹ̀ ni as a student. All right, ẹ ṣé gan. So FSP ṣe wà mẹ́ẹ̀.
So mo dẹ̀ tún fẹ́ ná manuscript mi ṣe ń gbọ́ àbí kò need mọ́?
No, kò need, ẹyọkan yẹn nìkan mo kàn need. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Okay, all right.
FSP.
Okay.
Ẹ dákun, èmi ní ìbéèrè fún Ọlánre.
All right, okay. Okay, there is a question. All right, no problem. So ìbéèrè yẹn jẹ́ kó wà very short and precise.
Ọlánre, although I left in the middle of your back and forth, but I had your initial presentation. Can you hear me?
Mungo.
My first question is that in your
hello.
Mungo. Okay. In your what version of Quran do you read?
Mo wà pẹ̀lú yín.
All right, bro Samad. Ṣé question yín ni àbí?
Yeah, but Omani is only leading only other question. But if you answer that, I want to ask.
Okay, reason to we don't want it to be interrogative with the presenter.
Yeah. So, what version of Quran does he read? Is it halves or wash or duri?
All right. So, Mr. Olare, one version wo lẹ ń kà?
Mi ò gbọ́ o.
Version Quran wo lẹ ń kà?
Okay. Ìgbé version Quran wo mo ń kà?
Yeah, we are half.
Mi ò kò sí version Quran. Question yẹn kò sí version Quran rárá. We have recitation la ní version Quran. Recitation kìrọ́hà. Tẹ́ bá lọ wo gbọ́ wọn Quran tẹ́ ń sọ ẹ̀ gbọ́ wọn nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ ẹ̀ Musaf la máa ń pè, ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń pè ní Quran. Ṣé ń gbọ́ sà? Ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń pè ní Quran. Musaf la máa ń pè. Kí ló ń pè ní Musaf? Book. Òun la máa ń pè. Nǹkan tó wà nínú ẹ̀ ló ń jẹ́ Quran. So recitation ni wọ́n wá ń pè. Àwọn tí wọ́n lọ gbà wá. Ẹ bá rí wọn lè kọ fashion Quran fashion sí lẹ́yìn. Recitation ló máa pè.
recitation,
So
qira'atu
what
Hafs,
recitation are you reading?
Qira'atu Qalun.
Brolare.
Mo ń ka gbogbo recitation yanyan ni mo ń
ẹ ti
kà.
dáhùn question yẹn torí time torí àsìkò.
Hello,
So wọ́n ní pé recitation ò lẹ́yìn kà.
Gbogbo recitation ni mò ń kà, but tí tó wà available lọ́wọ́ mi, mò ń ka Warish àti Hafs lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí.
All right, ẹ ṣé gan.
Awesome.
Right.
Wash and how. So I want you to tell us. Olane, can you tell us in your wash or your half Quran that you are reading, who is the writer of the wash and who is the writer of the halves?
Who is the writer?
Is it written in the codex or in the mushaf that you have? The person that wrote the wash and the person that wrote the halves, is it written there? Can you show us, like maybe in the introductory chapter, the writer of that particular recitation halves or wash?
Yeah. Checking down.
And the year writers
Taking down.
Please, thank you.
Anything with the writer. Recitation new. Okay. Warish. Ẹni tó ń jẹ́ Warish, òun gangan fúnra rẹ̀ èèyàn ni, ó máa ń ka Quran ni.
We lost
Hello.
Ẹ ṣé gan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wọ́n sọ pé èèyàn ni pé ó máa ń ka Quran.
So who is the person that wrote that wash? And when was it written? When was that mushaf written?
Okay. Warish. Ẹni tó àwọn tó kọ Warish, ìjọba ilẹ̀ Morocco ló kọ Warish. Òun ló já sí pé ìtọ́ máa ń sábà lò ní Morocco náà nìyẹn. So iye tí wọ́n create yẹn, eléyìí tí mi ò lè sọ mẹ́nubà púpọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ yẹn. But tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Hafs yẹn, àwọn ìjọba ilẹ̀ Egypt ni wọ́n gba ohun Hafs, ni wọ́n gbọ́ ohun Hafs, ni wọ́n fi kọ eléyìí tá à ń kọ lákọsílẹ̀ yìí tá à ń kọ́lẹ̀ yìí ní àbámu ń gbé tí ẹ bá fẹ́ níbi tààrífù nínú Kùránì àlùwárìṣì, mi ò mọ̀ bóyá mo lè ṣe explain kí n sáré screenshot kí n dẹ̀ share sí.
Yes, it's good. You can screenshot it so that we can see. So any ìjọba Morocco ló kọ wash, so kò ṣe wash ló kọ, so ìjọba Morocco, tó bá pé ìjọba Morocco ló kọ, what year?
Wash is a reciter, it's a major reciter.
Okay. When did that wash? When did he leave? So, did he listen to Muhammad? Did he listen to any of the Sahabas of Muhammad? What year did he leave? And in that book,
so àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ kọ́rí nínú kíní àtọwọn àfa wọn a máa gbé wá jáde bẹ́ẹ̀. So kí n kọ́kọ́ mú láti ẹni ṣe Warish ṣó listen sí ànábì, kọ́kọ́ gbé látọ̀dọ̀ Hafs ibi ṣó listen sí ànábì àbí kò listen sí ànábì. So wọ́n ní kutiba azal Mus'haf al-Karim, wọ́n kọ Mus'haf yìí yẹn tẹ́ bá ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ Mus'haf wọ́n pè wọ́n pé ní Al-Quran. So kí n screenshot ẹ̀ kí n gbé kí n fún yín kẹ́ wò.
Mushaf tenoko yẹn, shebi you said they wrote our Quran in the Mushaf, right? They wrote Quran in the Mushaf.
Kí screenshot ẹ̀ fún yín. Mo máa clear báyìí nísìnyí. Kí screenshot ẹ̀.
Ejo, we have limited time and we have just about a minute more. Ever special ame.
Then question tí mo bèrè ni pé year wo ni wash yẹn, year wo ló live? And the halves, because majority you in most Muslim in Nigeria, you are reading halves. When it halves, baby coach, I think is very close. I think let's get to the bottom of this. Why do you
worry?
Yeah, but these are relevant questions. Yeah, I think we need. Yeah, it's good. Let's just get to the bottom of this, because the apps at the wash, we want to know the year they live. How can they write Quran? While you are waiting, I'm just making some statements while you are doing your, because I want you to screenshot. Maybe like what you want to show is the screenshot. I want you to show us the first chapter here in your Quran. If you don't call, I want you call sinu Quran. You want to show us the year, because your accusation with the Bible was that I want to call Bible Abi. So I want to call Quran. Are they written in the Quran, especially wash? Is it written in the version of the recitation you are reading that this Quran or this Mus'haf of Quran is written by wash? No.
Share screen me.
FSP, share my share screen. Baby code.
Share screen me.
No.
Share screen me.
What's in load.
Share screen me.
What's in load?
Screen me.
What's in load, but what's in load fully? It's coming up. Yeah, exactly. What you show there? What you show?
Share TV.
Yes,
So, kí n kà fún yín. Tàrífù bí Azal Mus'haf Sharif. Láti lè fi dá Mus'haf yìí mọ̀, ìwé yìí tá ń pè ní Al-Qur'ani yìí. Mus'haf ló máa ń pè gbọ̀ngàn lọ́dọ̀ àwọn elédè. So, tàrífù ẹ̀ báwo la ṣe máa dá mọ̀? Mustalahul Ismi àti bọ́ ikọ́. So, wọ́n wá ní kútìbà ṣẹ́rí bíbá yìí tí kìíní bí wà. Kutiba Azal Mus'haf al-Karim, wọ́n kọ Mus'haf al-Karim wàdúbìtọ̀ alamọ̀ ìwà àfikún riwayat Hafs. Wọ́n sì dọ̀bátọ̀ ẹ̀, wọ́n fún ní mark lórí èyí tó ṣe déédéé àgbàwá Hafs bun Sulaiman. Hafs yẹn lọmọ Sulaiman, ọmọ Mugira, al-Asadiyu al-Kufi, dikirọ́àtì Asim, afá ẹ̀ ló ń jẹ́ Asim, ṣẹ́tìrí báyìí, afá ẹ̀ òun ló ń jẹ́ Asim tó wà bí, bun Abi Najud al-Kufi, àtàbìrín, Ana Abi Abdullah. Asim yìí òun wà gbà látọ̀dọ̀ Abu Abdullah afátọ̀dọ̀ tí ẹni Abi Abdullah ibn Habib Asulami yìí Asulami yìí òun gbà lọ́dọ̀ òun rí àwọn mẹ́rin yìí sójú Usman ibn Affan, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Zayd ibn Sabit, Ubay ibn Ka'b ani Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam tó wọn mẹ́rin tí wọ́n gbà látọ̀dọ̀ Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam tó yẹ yín bẹ́ẹ̀.
Kẹ́tó continue. Question mi ni pé Hafs tó kọ Mus'haf yẹ̀ wo ni ó kú? Àwọn tẹ́tọ́pọ̀ gbà so that means Quran is also written according to all these people you are mentioning, right?
Of course, lórí kíkà tí wọ́n ń kà tọ́wọ́n èèyàn dẹ̀ tó gbajúmọ̀ tí wọ́n ń kà pẹ̀lú wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ tí wọ́n ha sórí tó dẹ̀ túbọ̀ alákọsílẹ̀ ẹ wò òun náà lélẹ̀. Ẹtú wo ìsàlẹ̀ bíbá ẹgbọ́ ẹwò ìsàlẹ̀ bíbá kí n dá inú.
Mo ń gbọ́ so that means Quran is written according to these people, right?
Wàá kìsà ìjáwù mímọ̀rọ̀ wá wùlà mọ́ ìrọ́sìn. Ẹgbọ́ bíbá kìrá gbóhùn ṣe kà recitation ẹ̀ òun ni wọ́n gbọ́ wọ́n wá fi tẹ̀lé bí ó ṣe wà nínú tíra ẹtí ibi tí kìíní wà tí
ó ti yé wa
sẹ so Al-Khalifa to Rashid Usman ibn Affan
mo ti gbọ́ láàrin ìyẹn ti yé mi ó ti yé mi kí mo kàn fẹ́ find out náà ni pé Quran is written according to these people you mentioned, abi.
Quran wọ́n kọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí Hafs ṣe kà tí wọ́n dẹ̀ rí nínú Mus'haf Usman ibn Affan níbẹ̀.
Okay. So, the question they raised about the gospel ni wípé wọn mọ àwọn tó kọ gospel. Do you know Hafs that wrote this Hafs Mus'haf of Quran? Do you know him?
Daniel.
Hafs, do you know this Hafs that wrote this your Mus'haf according to Hafs? Do you know him?
Hafs didn't wrote anything. Hafs will call anything.
You are saying this Mus'haf is according to Hafs. You are saying Hafs does not write anything. So who wrote this?
According ọmọ ìjọba Egypt.
So where is it written here that ìjọba Egypt ló kọ Quran sí ló kọ Mus'haf? Where is it written here that is ìjọba Egypt ló kọ?
Okay, ṣé kí n tún screenshot yẹn náà fún yín?
Yeah, from this here, from this page. You pay this is now.
Màá
You are saying,
page yẹn sì pọ̀ lọ, ó sì gùn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n tún screenshot yẹn fún yín.
anyway, before you go, Kato Losibe, let me ask you another question. Do you know that these Arabs, Muslim Arabs and the Hashim that you mentioned on this page, Muslim scholars, your Muslim scholars said Arabs was a liar and a thief, Likewise, is a teacher that you call Hashim, yeah? They are both thieves and liars. Why do you, and they rejected their hadith. So why do you accept please don't I think I'm low lórí programming. You rock on the mobile.
Okay, kí n má lò mọ́. Okay, ẹni ṣé mo mọ̀. Okay, kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
So do you have a kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀? Because according to you, I reject àwọn hadith halves. Àwọn Muslim reject hadith halves.
Hadith, àwọn Muslim reject hadith halves. Àlùlá ni wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, halves ò kì í ṣe kò ń ṣe àlùlá hadith, àbí halves wo lẹ́ ń sọ.
But halves tó kọ Quran yìí tó recite Quran yìí, wọ́n reject àwọn hadith tó gbé wa.
Halves ò kì í ṣe mohadis, àwọn mohadis wà lọ́tọ̀ tí wọ́n rètí lọ́tọ̀.
Òun náà mo sọ pé tí wọ́n ṣe wá reject hadith ẹ̀ wá gba Quran, that's the problem.
Ẹgbọ́n tá à ń sọ, ẹ wo bíbá yìí dáadáa, wọ́n ní kìrọ̀ to halves. Kí àgbà ní kìrọ̀ àgbà ẹni tó máa ń ka Quran ní halves jẹ́, wọ́n wá dọ̀bátọ̀ ẹ̀ lórí pé kí ni wọ́n fi ń tẹ̀lé Musafu Usman bin Affan. Wọ́n wo Musafu lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ báyìí, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ kíkà tẹ́ni yẹn ká, wọ́n dẹ̀ fi ń kọ kíní ilẹ̀ ń tán sọ nìyẹn. Lórí
but plenty Muslim reject hadith halves tẹ́ gba Quran, that's my question to you.
Wọ́n reject hadith halves, àwọn alùlà hadith wà lọ́tọ̀ tí wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn ilé wà substantial lọ́tọ̀. Wọ́n reject hadith.
Àwọn yẹn expert in hadith, so because he's not an expert in hadith, is that what you are trying to say?
Halves ò kì í ṣe muhadis, ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Halves ò kì í ṣe muhadis.
Ṣé rí ìtàn fi reject hadith ẹ̀ nìyẹn?
Halves ò kì í ṣe aládìsí. A ní ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ò wọlé ṣe halves ò kì í ṣe aládìsí.
No. If you don't accept it, you can say you don't accept it. But
halves ò kì í ṣe aládìsí. Ẹ mẹ́rin wá ṣe halves ò kì í ṣe aládìsí. Kò ṣe muhadis.
Okay. So that means do you agree that Halves was a thief, was adjudged as a thief and a liar?
Halves ò kì í ṣe olè, halves ò kì í ṣe aládìsí.
No, do you agree? Come Muslim, ẹ̀yin Muslim náà ni àwọn Muslim scholars ní wọ́n pe Halves ní olè àti àtònírọ́.
Ọ̀rọ̀ èsì wà lórí àwọn ṣíà ń bí báyìí tí time bá gbà wá kí n tún fún yín.
No, do you agree? Ṣé àwọn scholars ṣé wọ́n pe Halves ní onírọ́ àti olè?
Scholar wo lẹ sọ? Èwo náà scholar? Ẹ má parọ́ mọ́, ẹ má bínú pé mo lọ̀rọ̀ ẹ. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò wọlé dígbà tẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí àwọn scholar.
Àǹtí ṣé nǹkan tó fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ náà ni pé ṣé àwọn scholars ṣé wọ́n gbà á?
Halves ò kì í ṣe aládìsí, àkílẹ̀ ń sọ yìí.
Fine, ṣé ìdí táwọn fi gba dìtẹ̀ nìyẹn àbí?
Irọ́ kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n gbà dìtì, kò ń ṣe aládìsí.
Bọ̀ ṣó má dìtì wá? Ṣó má dìtì wá?
Kò má dìtì wá.
Kò má dìtì kankan wá àbí wọ́n reject àdìtẹ̀? Àbọ̀ wọ́n reject àdìtẹ̀? Kò má dìtì wá rárá.
Kò má dìtì wá, kí lẹ̀ ń sọ yìí?
Bọ̀ ṣé wọ́n sọ pé ó lè ní àti òpòrọ̀ àbí wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀?
Kò sẹ́ni tó sọ pé ó lè ní, ẹ̀mú Sunni, ẹ̀mú ẹ̀rí wa.
Mohammed wa mo ń bọ̀. Let me quickly ask the next question. There is this
hadith. Mi ò dúró any time mọ́ fún yín, ẹ lè save ẹ̀dọ́jọ́ mi tẹ́ bá ní program.
Má rí yẹ̀yà, a quick one, nǹkan tó fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nísìnyí pé
ẹ ṣe allow me kémi náà bí ilé rè question Christian ṣáà.
No, wait, I'm not your co-debater now. Ṣebí I'm just pointing out.
Bro Samad, time of ẹ mọ̀ pé mo sọ fún tẹ́lẹ̀ pé mo fẹ́ kó wà interrogating. And then you are just to be a questionnaire, so for him to answer. All right, bro Lanre, ẹ ṣé gan. Àsìkò ti lọ, if not èmi gan ní question but a lè máa fi yẹn máa take time o. So
baby code. Brother àbí ọ̀gbẹ́ni tó bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí yẹn bóyá ẹ lè allow wọn kẹ́ pay mi àti wọn together. Ó ti máa ń pẹ́ ìjọ kan náà wọ́n sọ pé kémi wá ka Birmingham manuscript. Mo fẹ́ kà bọ̀ wọ́n padà lé mi kúrò, wọ́n padà sí.
Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ẹ lè fix time, ẹ lè sọ fẹ́fẹ́ speed.
Mi ò ní anything tí mo lè fi link ẹni ẹ lọ́wọ́ àtòrí bíbá yìí.
No, ẹ má worry. Ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ kan by first piece sọ ṣẹ́gẹ̀t wọ́n máa schedule fún program.
Ẹbí TMD léèrè ó mọ bóyá máa reach mi lórí WhatsApp, kò sí problem bẹ́ẹ̀.
All right, ẹ ṣé
Can
gan.
be our
It's a problem.
together, can you discuss? On
All
one
right.
tell them why,
Yeah, in fact, can you contribute baby code? It's
Time.
just I don't know why we are saying we should not. It's better we exceed the time. Can
No,
establish facts?
Emma,
We better play video.
Bros
Àwọn scholars fún Ọlánre mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ establish fact ni. Mo ti gbọ́ sẹ́ baby code. Go ahead.
Who are the scholars?
All right.
We are Yasin recording the scholar. We don't regard that as now.
Rolare.
In fact, baby code. Tó bá wo comments kan ẹnìkan ti post that blog. Ola means wealth.
I know, Bro Samad.
Okay, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Yeah. We have a focus, and our focus is not just to argue, and it's not about the winning or our eloquence of speech. The reason why
baby code, 1 minute. Time till
seriously, no buy pé mo wà nínú admin room níbẹ̀ yẹn mo máa ti mute
ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run ẹ fún mi 1 minute. Ẹjọ́ fún mi 1 minute.
Ó yẹ ní sùúrù náà.
Torí Ọlọ́run 30 seconds.
Ẹ kàn ní sùúrù náà.
30 seconds ẹjọ́ 30 seconds. Epo mi ti bẹ.
Ṣepo, okay, thank you. Kò ń ṣe time láti nígbà fẹ́ reboot àbí anything, ṣe understand? Kò kí n ṣe kémi ìfẹ́ fún yín láyè, but we have schedule for everything. Time dẹ̀ ti lọ. And èmù wa gẹ́gẹ́ mo ń sọ fún wa ní pé tí program yìí bá gùn jù, even bí àwọn èèyàn tó bá fẹ́ wò gan, àwọn ibi tó nǹkan tó yẹ kán wò the major discussions, nǹkan tó lè fi understand wọn ní ríru. Ẹlòmíì tó bá ṣe kó ti gùn jù, wọn ní àti lo 2 hours 11 minutes 27 seconds now 28 seconds. Ṣé get nísìn? So a lè máa ṣe long kíní báyìí. We need to make it short and precise kí àwọn ará ilé kan bá lè get the major thing tan discuss. So lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ má bínú bro Lanre, Yahweh save ẹ̀yin náà ẹ ṣé gan ní alẹ́ yìí, at least pé you are able to come on the program and you people discuss amicably. So while any disagreement, it's good, it's normal. So but the major aim wa ni pé so that kabaku kó má di pé a máa jẹ́jọ́ tí ò wà okay ní ọjọ́ ìdájọ́, ká bá lè mọ òótọ́. And for people watching at home, ẹ lè máa wọ́n pé kí ló ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ká máa discuss manuscript, but the truth is that tí bíbélì yín tẹ́ gbàgbọ́ tá a jọ gbàgbọ́ yìí tó bá di wípé kò ṣe trust, then nǹkan tá a pè lọ́rọ̀ Ọlọ́run bẹ́ẹ̀ ò lè ṣe trust, then Ọlọ́run tá à ń sìn ò lè ṣe trust. Tí Quran tó bá ti di wípé kò wà reliable, ṣe ti understand, or kò wà preserved, tá a rí pé nǹkan tó kọ síbẹ̀ kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, definitely ó mì pé nǹkan táwọn Muslim gbàgbọ́ is kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run nìyẹn. Ó mì pé kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run ló kọ síbẹ̀ according to their belief. Ṣé gẹ́sì nísìn? So ẹ̀rí kò ti rọ́nà tó ṣe gba attach mọ́ eternal life wa nísìn. So nǹkan tá a ṣe máa ń ṣe àwọn nǹkan tí à ń ṣe nìyẹn. So bro Lanre, mo máa bẹ̀ yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Èmi personally máa make sure pé mo máa jẹ́ kí program yẹn àti brother Samad kó ṣeé ṣe. So mo kẹ́yìn ara alẹ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ ṣé gan. Ọlọ́run tó wà pẹ̀lú wa. FSP. Oh, merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah. Oh, merciful, faithful, my Adonai, Jehovah. Oh, merciful, faithful.